The astrology of June is taking the spark of eclipse season and turning it into a blazing cosmic flame as we add in the air energy of Gemini this month. So let's break it all down in today's video and see how your relationships may be impacted in June 2024. Welcome back, Astro family. We have another month ahead forecast video today. We are breaking down June 2024. This is a beautiful month ahead, cosmically speaking, because we have a lot of planets in the zodiac energy of Gemini, which makes us a little bit more lighthearted, more flirtatious, more open-minded, a beautiful energy to have in our relationships. If you are single and you are looking to mingle, this is the perfect season for you. If you are in a romantic, committed relationship, beautiful pockets of opportunity this month to connect deeper, to share with one another. If you are in a business and you are looking to expand your team or to find more people that are aligned with you to network with, also a beautiful energy. This overall just brings some lightheartedness to our lives, especially after the intense eclipse season that we just went through. So we'll be navigating all of this today. If you're new to me and new to my channel, hi, welcome. I'm Mandy Rose. I'm a relational astrologer, which you'll notice in my videos is I take the lens of astrology and use it in a way to help you ultimately have a better relationship with yourself and the people around you. I'm a Western tropical astrologer using whole sign systems. So when we get to the rising sign forecast at the end of this video, you want to go based on your rising sign in whole sign systems to make sense of it in alignment with my video and my perspective. Now, if you've never watched one of my monthly forecasts, this is how we break it down. We're going to start out with the overview, the energy that we have been feeling as we move into the month of June and what we can anticipate as the overall vibe. Then I like to go into my top 5 transits this month that I know will impact us on a relationship level and how they may impact us. Then you want to go ahead and grab your birth chart for the next portion of the video, which is our planet by planet breakdown, where I go through every single planet. We put them up here on the chart one by one, and I help you understand what each planet, aka what I call life coaches, are up to this month, the messages and the lessons that they're sending us and teaching us. You want to pay attention to your primary life coach. So if you are a Scorpio Rising, for example, you are going to pay attention to Mars. If you're a Taurus Rising, you're going to pay attention to Venus. If you're not sure who your primary life coach planet is, I'm going to pull up the chart here. Go ahead and look for your rising sign. Each one of us has a primary life coach or a primary planet that we want to pay attention to at all times, because that is the planet that is going to influence you the most as we move through the month of June. And in your rising sign forecast, we'll be touching on that as well. But to get a more descriptive understanding for the month of June, you want to make sure you go to the planet by planet breakdown and look for your primary life coach first. Then after that, we will go through the date by date breakdown. This will be really handy if you have your calendar for the month of June laid out. That way you can see for the month ahead, if you have things already planned, you can understand what you may cosmically and energetically being experienced around the time of that event. And you may need to rearrange some things in your calendar to have more alignment with the current cosmic weather. So we'll be breaking all of that down. If you have a copy of the 2024 Astrology Alchemy Journal that I write every single year, make sure you grab that so you can take some notes as well as we break down some more specific details for the month ahead of June 2024. So let's go ahead, dive into it. I know this is a really long video, but I think it's really important for you to understand the overview and not just listen to your rising sign forecast, because our rising sign forecast helps us with us personally, but you also want to understand what is going on with other people collectively as we experience this energy in the cosmos. The last thing I will remind you of is make sure you save this video, because I'm sure at some point in the month of June, you're going to forget what I mentioned. Let's say on June 10th, something comes up in your life and you're like, wait a second, what was supposed to be going on around that time? Why am I feeling this way? Why are people acting crazy? You can come back to this video, go to the timestamp for that week, and have a little refresher. And also, if watching these super long videos on YouTube are really time consuming for you to understand the date by date breakdown, remember, I do have the Astro Weather Report, which is our Telegram subscription that you can hop into. And every single day, I send a voice memo directly to your phone, helping you navigate the day ahead so that you don't have to remember and watch hours and hours of content. You just get what you need for the day ahead at the time that you need it. So the link to that is in the description box below. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into the overview. Let's understand what is going on in the sky as we move into the month of June. So we are coming out of eclipse season. Remember, lots of fire in the sky. We had so many planets dancing through the zodiac energy of Aries, Mercury retrograding there, the eclipse is happening there, Mars is there currently. We had the sun season of Aries, we had Venus in Aries. There was so much fire in the sky as we moved through the month of April, and that sparked a lot of things in us, making us realize and recognize how we want to change our lives, what we want to do moving forward. And then last month, in the month of May, we had so many planets in the zodiac energy of Taurus. Taurus helps us ground, anchor in, make decisions that helps us start to move forward, helps us plant the seeds, determine what we value, what we find beautiful, what we find pleasurable. And now in the month of June, we are moving into the third season of the astrological year, which is Gemini, which puts some air into our life. It is like opening a cosmic window and feeling a breath of fresh air smack us in the face, making us feel alive again, and allows us to say, hey, there's more out there that I don't know yet. And the information out there can help me move forward on the things that sparked and peaked during eclipse season. And so this month we are adding the air to the fire. When we have air on fire, it creates a forest fire. It's a blaze. Things get hot, things get intense. So the month ahead of June is going to be very, very busy. Now we have some key players this month. The first one being Mercury. Mercury this month will be in his home sign of Gemini. So this is very exciting for him, but he'll also be there with many other planets. He'll be there with the sun. He will be there with Venus and Jupiter, who has not been there in 12 years. He is the ruler of the sun season of Gemini. He's the ruler of the new moon this month. He will be making aspects to almost every single planet in the sky, squaring Neptune, squaring Saturn, trining Pluto, squaring the nodes, squaring Chiron. I mean, Mercury is up to so much this month. So if you are a Virgo or a Gemini rising, you're going to want to pay attention to the planet by planet breakdown. Definitely go check out the full story on Mercury this month. Now, also this month, Jupiter is in officially Gemini territory. And this is huge because he has not been here in 12 years. So we'll be breaking more of that down. I have a full video with your rising sign forecast and what relationships in your life may be impacted as Jupiter moves through the zodiac energy of Gemini. So go ahead and check that out, because as Jupiter moves into Gemini, he's like throwing a cosmic party, like a move-in party. He will be here for an entire year. So imagine you sign a lease somewhere and you are so excited you have not been in that part of town or in that city in a really long time, and you just want to have a kickoff, welcome home party. That's what Jupiter is doing. And so as soon as he moves into Gemini, Venus is there, Mercury shows up, the sun is there, we have a new moon there. And so he is just welcoming in this fresh energy for us to experience for the year ahead. So definitely know where Gemini falls in your birth chart. That is going to be an area of life for the month of June that is very heavily impacted. You are going to be giving that area a lot of attention. We'll get more into that in the rising sign forecast. But relationally speaking, Jupiter in Gemini is a beautiful energy because it helps us expand. And it helps us find blessing through Gemini areas, which is people, connection, technology, travel, transportation, being around people that can teach us new things and give us new perspectives. So relationally, beautiful time. We'll get more into that in just a moment. As the month begins, it will be busy, busy, busy with the Gemini energy. We want to go places, learn things, talk to people, network, connect. But then we will be moving in the middle of the month on the 20th into the summer solstice, into Cancer sun season, where we get into the watery energy. That is the point where we go back into our emotions, our intuition. Great time for relationships as we can go more into our soft feminine era, where we can nurture others, where we can listen with empathy, where we can really be in a soft state. And so we go busy, 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 connect, 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 figure out the people we want to connect most with, and then go back and tap into the deeper parts of ourselves and the deeper parts of other people, and forming those bonds based on emotions and compassion and our stories. So we are just having a lovely, lovely season for the month of June. And lastly, just want to highlight, we'll talk more about this, but Neptune is definitely influencing all of this energy as he is squaring the planets moving through the zodiac energy of Gemini as they move from Gemini into Cancer. Remember, he is at 29 degrees of Pisces, the final anaretic degree. And so as planets shift from Gemini at 29 degrees into 0 degrees of Cancer this month, that is going to be the sun, Mercury, and Venus. Neptune will push them and nudge them into the compassionate, loving energy of Cancer. And Neptune, we know, is our dreamer. He helps us connect to our intuition. He helps us make our life feel like we are living in a rom-com. So it is a beautiful influence and support that we have from him to push us into deeper connection in relationships. So as we're talking about relationships, let's move into my favorite part of my videos, which are my top 5 transits. We're looking at the month of June and which ones specifically I think will impact us on a relationship level and how we can navigate that. So let's first start out with Venus, right? Venus is our planet of love. She rules over everything that we value in this lifetime. So material possessions, our finances, our relationships, our creative projects. So we definitely want to know what Venus is up to this month because she is going to give us the lens, the vibe, perspective, the zodiac energy, and how we love other people and how we want to feel and experience love for ourselves. So this month, Venus is in the zodiac energy of Gemini. Now, as she moves from Gemini into Cancer, remember, she will be squaring Neptune, and that energy will bring a lot of romance and dreaminess into our relationships. But as she starts out the month in Gemini, this is relationships, desiring connection, getting out there with people, having fun, going to a comedy show, meeting new people, having multiple friends, multiple events on your calendar. Maybe even if you're single, dating multiple people, right? Gemini is the twins. So Venus wants lots of options this month. And in relationships, we want to meet a lot of people because each person can meet a different need. Maybe we have a group of friends that loves to do a hobby or activity we really enjoy, but then we want a partner that likes to stay home. And then we want to have people that are really into business and are entrepreneurs and they work really hard. But then we want to have people in our lives that we can just go out with on the weekends and not talk about business. So Venus this month is pushing us in relationships to meet a variety of people, have different needs met from different circumstances. And so it's just, again, such a busy, flirtatious month and getting us out of our comfort zone by speaking, expressing, communicating, sharing, telling your story. That's how we build authentic connections, is by revealing parts of yourselves. So that is just amazing. Then Venus will move into Cancer, where I know that our relationships will go into that soft feminine era, where we will want to maybe be a little bit more homebodies with the people that we truly value. We want to discover which of these people we met during Gemini season makes us feel safe and secure, that can meet our needs on an emotional level. This might be a time where you reconnect from people from the past. So a lot of relationships from your past, maybe your high school years or people you used to work with, may come back, as Cancer season really loves nostalgia and going back in time and those people that you kind of feel safe with because they've known you for a while. So that could be some of the relationships later in the month that you focus and pay attention to as Venus moves into Cancer. So that's the first transit this month. The second energy that we know will impact our relationships is Mercury, right? Mercury is communication and speaking and expressing, and we can't have relationships without that. It is one of the most important aspects of any relationship we have, whether romantic, business, friendship, what have you. And this month, Mercury also does the same dance from Gemini into Cancer, but he catches up with Venus and they actually come conjunct around the 17th of the month and move into Cancer together. Like both of them hug and say, let's move into Cancer together. This is a beautiful energy for our relationships because it piggybacks off of everything we just talked about with Venus, but it adds in the communication aspect. It adds in the fact that we will be speaking in a way that gets soft and loving and understanding and really using words that speak to someone's heart. This is going to be a beautiful energy. Now, like I said, at the beginning of the month, Mercury and Gemini will have us chatting with everybody, asking everybody all the questions about their whole life and gaining a lot of understanding of the world around us. It also may be a beautiful season in your relationships this month where you gain a new perspective. You're more open-minded to the way in which other people feel around you. Maybe you're usually the type of person that kind of just sees life one way and you think this is how it should be. But with Mercury and Gemini and Venus and Gemini at the beginning of the month, you're able to say, hey, maybe that person does have a point. Maybe I need to understand how they feel about something. Maybe their perspective or lens or story of why they feel the way that they feel is actually important for me to know and understand. And that then leads us into the Cancer season with Mercury and Venus side by side, which brings more empathy and more understanding for one another. So beautiful energy. The third transit this month that we know will impact relationships is Jupiter moving into Gemini, because Jupiter expands. He brings blessing. He brings opportunity. He brings prosperity as long as we focus on the energy that he's in. and he'll be in Gemini. So he's saying, hey, there are blessings in going out and socializing. There's abundance in sharing your story and connecting with other people through authentic expression. There is possibility for you out there if you're willing to change your mind, if you're willing to see life from a higher conscious perspective and not just your narrow-minded thinking. Jupiter doesn't particularly like to be in Gemini because his home sign is Sagittarius, opposite in the sky. So he's the furthest away from home that he possibly can be. But he allows us to take our narrow minded, detail oriented thinking of Gemini and expand it to a bigger picture thought. And this is amazing for relationships because we're able to just see the way in which other people live and their story to how they got to where they are and see the lessons in those stories. And those lessons can bring blessings into our life because it teaches us other ways of being. So a beautiful energy for the month ahead with Jupiter blessing us in Gemini. Again, helping us meet a whole lot of people and helping people share with us what we don't yet know. So if there's a business you're trying to build, you want to move to another country, you want to learn more about holistic health, like whatever you want to learn about to help you move into the next chapter of your life, Jupiter will bring people to you that want to teach you, that want to mentor you. So there's lots of prosperity in this energy. The fourth transit this month, I know that can impact our relationships, is Mars moving into the zodiac energy of Taurus. Now, this is important because Mars is our masculine, right? Mars helps us make decisions. Mars helps us move forward. It's what we're fighting for. And as he's been in the zodiac energy of Aries in the month of May, we're kind of hot-headed, we're determined, we're kind of kicking and screaming and throwing tantrums and fighting for our needs and fighting for our own wants. But this month, as he moves into Taurus, he grounds, he cools off, he becomes more slow and stable. And so what we're fighting for is bringing more pleasure into our life, to create more beauty. We're fighting for our relationships to feel good. We fight for having more sensuality, right? And fight for what we actually value. And our masculine side doesn't want to go head to head and fight everyone. It doesn't have that warrior energy to it anymore, but rather in relationships, we're willing to be a little bit more patient. We're willing to be a little bit more understanding of that things take time to change, right? Taurus is slow and steady. And so Mars is like, okay, I want my relationship to change. I want to understand how someone else feels. I want to meet new people, but I'm willing to slow down and let it marinate. I'm willing to give it time to change. I don't need it to happen right now because when it does, it will be fixed and it will click into place and I will be able to have it for the long term. So I don't need to rush anything. So this is beautiful for our relationships where we will have more patience and we're fighting for the people that we really value, that we see brings beauty into our lives, and that we are trying to build something with. So beautiful energy as we move through this. And then the last transit this month that I know can heavily impact our relationships is that full moon in Capricorn. Remember, we are having 2 full moons in Capricorn back to back. So this month is the first one of the pair. Capricorn deals with the long term, right? It's what we're building. It's what we want to have around that we're willing to work for. And Cancer sun season, which is the season we'll be in during the time of that full moon, is about connecting on an emotional level. And so we might be releasing and letting go at that full moon of people that we know long term we can't emotionally attach to. They don't feel safe. They're not a relationship we want to build something upon. And so we're saying, hey, you know what? It was fun. It's been real. Like I had a fling, great and all. But now I want to build something and I have to let go of the people that I can't feel compassion from, that don't allow me to express myself in my feminine state. And so that's something we may notice at the time of this full moon. And then next month at the second full moon in Capricorn at 29 degrees, the aneretic degree, we officially let that person go. So we'll dive way more into that in my video that I break down the entire full moon of Capricorn. So stick around for that, subscribe, as we really talk about relationships at that time as we are in Cancer sun season that we may have to let go of. So that was a beautiful overview of the month ahead. Let's go ahead and get into the nitty gritty. Let's break down the details, each planet one by one in this next part of the video. I have all the planets up here right now where they currently are at the 1st of June. We're going to take them off, Put them up one by one. Make sure you listen particularly for your primary life coach to truly understand how they're teaching you this month, what they're up to, as they're impacting you more heavily based on your rising sign than the people around you. But it's good to understand, like I said, where all the planets are. You can look on your birth chart. I'm going to be giving you the degree points where they will be traveling through from the 1st of June till the 30th. You can see if they will be impacting anything particularly in your own birth chart. And also understanding where the planets are at any given time during the month of June helps you understand the people around you who have different rising signs, therefore different primary life coach planets. So with all that, let's take this all down. So we're kicking off the planet by planet breakdown by leaving the nodes up here on the chart. We know that the north node is in the zodiac energy of Aries and the south node directly opposite in the sky in the zodiac energy of Libra. Now the nodes, remember, move backwards in the skies. We are halfway done with the eclipse cycle of Aries and Libra. That will be wrapping up this year. And once we get to January 11th of 2025, the nodes will officially move into Pisces and Virgo. So we're still working on keeping our eye on the North Star in the Aries area of our life and letting go and releasing in the Libra area of our life. Now, we don't have any active eclipse energy until the fall again, but we're still working through these two particular areas of our chart. Now, after that, let's go ahead and put up Chiron. We know that Chiron is our wounded healer. He is also in the zodiac energy of Aries. And as we move into the month of June, he just had a visitation by Mars. We'll get more into that when we get to Mars, but we know that Chiron is helping us heal masculine wounds because he's in the zodiac energy of Aries. So our anger tendencies, our desire to control and manipulate things and force life to happen for us, Chiron is helping us heal these parts of ourselves. He's also helping us heal inner child wounds because Aries is the toddler within all of us. And so those are some things that we really had to focus on way back in the month of April as lots of planets visit him. We had that Mercury retrograde hitting Chiron 3 times. We've been working on the story and the pain that we are creating within our own mind, and we're really moving on from that. So Chiron is going to get a square from Mercury and from Venus towards the end of the month, but we'll get into that all later. So let's move on to Pluto. We know Pluto is the planet of transformation, power, control, and he is doing the most this month as he is retrograding from Aquarius back into Capricorn for just a few short months to destroy and crumble anything that doesn't serve us. And that will be happening once we get later into the summer, into the fall. And so right now, as he is dancing backwards, as he is retrograding, he is saying to us, what collective things in society are not serving us? Where do we need to band together? Where do we need to work together to crumble the things in Capricorn? Structures, governments, religions, institutions, things that just are not worthy of saving anymore, that really need to crumble and have a brand new foundation built upon them so we can have them for the long term. So Pluto's retrograde is going to be very powerful. Pluto will be trining all the planets that come into Gemini. So he brings power, primal instinct, pushing us to transform, pushing us to change. And I love this energy for relationships because remember, Gemini is about connection, sharing, communicating, getting out there, meeting new people. And Pluto is pushing us and saying, you got to share your story if you want to make a difference. You got to get out there if you're single and you want to meet your forever partner. You got to get out there and learn new things if you want to have a new life. And so we love Pluto just pushing us forward as he trines the planets moving into Gemini, including Jupiter. So moving on then, let's talk about Neptune. Neptune, we know, is our dreamer, lives in La La Land, helps us see life through rose-colored glasses, and he is at the most powerful placement in the sky that he could be, which is 29 degrees of Pisces. Now, this is a huge potent energy because this happens once every 165 years. And as Neptune parks his butt here at 29 degrees of Pisces, which he did last month, he will be here for May, June, and July, almost 3 full months at the same exact degree point, the most powerful point that he can be. So how are we feeling this energetically, and how does this apply to our relationships? Well, Neptune, again, lets us dream, believe, have faith, hope, optimism, sees life for being amazing and possible. So we may be feeling very dreamy, lightheaded, want to see all people in the best light. Now, he will go retrograde, and we might have to rip the rose-colored glasses off on a lot of our relationships. We may have to take people off pedestals. It's a topic for a whole nother video I will do on Neptune's retrograde, so stick around for that. But right now, in the month of June, Neptune will square all the planets moving from 29 degrees of Gemini into 0 degrees of Cancer. So that will be the sun, that will be Venus, and that will be Mercury. And so squares are saying, hey, we got to do things differently if we want to have the things we want in life. And Venus being our relationships and meeting up with Neptune, it's like Neptune saying, hey, you want a rom-com of a life? You're going to have to make decisions. You're going to have to trust people. You're going to have faith. You have to see things in a most beautiful light if you want beautiful relationships. So now let's talk about Uranus. Now, Uranus, we know, is our liberator. He helps us break free. He helps us take the shackles off. Uranus is in Taurus. He had quite the activity in the month of April with the lottery aspect, meeting up with Jupiter. And in the month of May, he met up with the sun and Venus and Mercury. And so this month, he takes a little bit of a break, which is a-okay for us because we don't need his lightning bolt electric energy all the time. There has possibly been a lot that has changed for you in the last few months. And now it's a time for us to start moving forward and being brave and being bold and being able to be comfortable with being uncomfortable and to get ourselves out of our box, out of our comfort zone a little bit. So Uranus is chilling this month. We do need to acknowledge, though, that Mars will come conjunct with Uranus in the month of July. Mars is the warrior, the fighter, very heated, and Uranus blows things up. So that's a topic we'll get into later, but Uranus isn't done blowing things up in our life just yet. So make sure you know where Taurus falls in your birth chart. You probably know by now where we had a lot of activity in the month of May, but just know we have one final explosion, twist or turn that's coming with the Mars-Uranus conjunction next month. Then we move on to Saturn, our tough love dad. Whatever he's up to, we got to know because he is teaching us lessons by throwing obstacles and curveballs and limiting us and creating boundaries. And we know that Saturn is in the zodiac energy of Pisces with Neptune. Now, this is a bigger story as Saturn and Neptune will be getting closer and closer together, but not this month because Saturn will turn around and start retrograding on the 29th of June. So we are prepping for Saturn's retrograde. He will be retrograding from 19 degrees of Pisces back to 11 degrees. So check your birth chart. Do you have any planets between those degree points in the zodiac energy of Pisces? If so, Saturn is touching them 3 times this year, and you got to know what is about to happen because Saturn's retrogrades are major lesson learning periods where we are meant to mature, where we are meant to grow, where we are meant to take responsibility for something in our life, particularly the Pisces area of our life. And when he goes retrograde, think of him as your tough love dad who says, did you do your homework? Did you do your homework? And all of a sudden he stops asking. He takes a step back and he's like, I'm going to see if you do your homework. I want to see if you're going to be mature. I want to see if you're going to be responsible. I'm not going to nag you. And so life can actually feel like it's getting easier during a Saturn retrograde, but the challenge is still doing the work, still doing what you need to do to create a steady, sturdy, stable foundation to build your life upon in the Pisces area for the next 30 years. And so definitely this month, we want to make sure we understand the lesson, that we're actively working towards those things. If you need some help with this, we can dive in a mini session. So you can book that in the description box below. But Saturn this month will be squaring, again, the planets moving through Gemini. So Venus will have a square with Saturn. Mercury will have a square with Saturn. The sun will have a square with Saturn, and we'll be breaking that down in the date-by-date breakdown. So don't worry, go check out that portion of the video and you'll know exactly what dates that will be happening. But Venus, who's our relationships and our money and our finances and our material possessions, answering to Saturn, Saturn's like, hold up. Is that really what you value? Do you have boundaries around those things? Do you have a strong foundation around those things? And then Mercury squaring Saturn. And Mercury is how we communicate, it's how we express, it's what we're sharing, it's how we're learning. Saturn's like, hold up. Like, are you listening to the other perspective? Are you seeing it in a beautiful way? Pisces, do you have compassion when you're listening and when you're speaking? Do you have boundaries around how much you're willing to share? I mean, there is so much that Saturn will be teaching us this month. And then his retrograde kicks off on the 29th of June. And lastly, Saturn is the ruler of the full moon this month, right? Because he rules Capricorn, and we have a full moon in Capricorn this month And we have another full moon in Capricorn next month. So Saturn is up to a lot this month, being the ruler of the lunation. We'll talk again so much more about that when we get to the full moon forecast video. Stick around for that. But if you are an Aquarius rising or Capricorn rising and Saturn is your ruling planet, you know that he is up to a lot this month. So there is a lot for you to learn, a lot for you to get working on for the long haul of your life. With that, let's move on to Jupiter, our planet of blessing, expansion, growth. You know, we love Jupiter over here. And this month we got Jupiter in a new zodiac energy. We could talk about something different because Jupiter has been in Taurus for the last year. And now officially, as of May 25th, he will be in the zodiac energy of Gemini all the way until May of 2025. And fun fact, Jupiter will be kicking off the month of June at 1 degrees and 11 minutes, so 111 of Gemini. And he's kind of moving a little quickly. He'll get all the way to 8 degrees by the 30th of June. And so this month, he has a welcome party. He is moving in, he is kicking off. If you are a Sagittarius rising or Pisces rising, Jupiter is your ruling planet, and you are going into June with a cosmic party. But don't forget, Jupiter will be trining Pluto for the first 2 weeks of the month. So he is having a move-in party, but Pluto is saying, make sure that the blessings and the abundance and the things that you are seeking for, that you are desiring to expand into, is in the direction of the change, the transformation that you want. Make sure as you are celebrating, make sure as you are throwing this cosmic party in Gemini to connect with new people, to learn new things, to expand your perspective, you are connecting with the people that really push you and propel you to be the new version of yourself, and not the people necessarily from the past that anchor you and that are narrow-minded and telling you stories of how you used to be. Pluto is definitely pushing us forward with this energy, and we're really grateful for that because Pluto allows us to let things die off and helps us look forward to the new. And sometimes we have to do that in relationships. Sometimes we have to be willing to let go of old friendships and old connections in pursuit of the next journey or chapter of our life as we're up leveling, and people that will help us grow. And those people can bring blessings to us. So there might be this feeling of like social climbing this month with this energy. There might be this feeling of like being around people that can benefit you, but that's not actually what's happening. It's saying, I desire this new life. I desire to be around people that align with me authentically, right? Aquarius energy with Pluto being here. People that are like me, people that see life the way that I see life. And so as you're feeling like, oh, am I just hanging out with these people because of what they can bring me? It's like, no, you want to be in rooms and spaces and places that take you to the next level. And that requires you to maybe let go or let friendships die off and find new ones by getting out there in the Gemini area of your life. Then let's talk about Mars, our masculine. So if you're a Scorpio rising or Aries rising, this is definitely who you need to pay attention to this month, because Mars will move from the zodiac energy of Aries into Taurus. Now, Mars is at home in Aries, so we've been hopefully tapping into this energy of taking action, making moves, making decisions, getting out there, following through on the spark of what we desired back during eclipse season. Maybe you've had more energy, more vitality. Well, a lot of that is going to shift when we have Mars moving into the zodiac energy of Taurus on the 10th of June. And that is Mars then slowing down and saying, hey, I can be patient. I can wait. I can work on things that I truly value, right? Taurus is about our values and laying strong foundations and planting seeds and willing to work for them over time and consistently. So a lot of our energy is going to pull back and say, you know what? I'm not going to burn the candles at both ends. I'm willing to put a little bit of work in every single day and make moves forward on the things that I truly want that bring beauty and pleasure into our life. We're willing to fight for things this month as Mars moves into Taurus that really makes our life feel juicy and good. And so we really enjoy this energy. We do know that as we kick off the month of June, Mars is coming out of his conjunction with Chiron. And so we left May, started June with this energy of healing, of saying, you know what, physically, maybe I do need to slow down. Maybe I have way too much stress and way too much cortisol, and I thought I could handle it all and I could fight through life. But now I want to indulge. I want to enjoy life. I want to slow down at Taurus. I want to stop and smell the roses on my walk instead of powering through and just getting it in to get in my steps. This is going to be beautiful for our nervous system. There's lots of healing that is possible. So if you ended May feeling inflamed, feeling on fire, feeling stressed out, feeling like you just did way too much in such a short amount of time, feel the positive energy and vibe as we move through the first 2 weeks of Gemini season, which is busy, busy. You might have a lot on your social calendar. Again, this is a busy season, but luckily you're going to figure out a way with Mars moving into Taurus this month where you can slow down your nervous system, say yes to the things that you value, and be willing to wait in relationships for things to change. Have more patience. So it's a beautiful energy we'll be feeling. And then don't forget, Mars is inching his way closer and closer to Uranus. By the time we get to July, there's kind of like this one final kaboom. So what you want to do is look in your birth chart at Taurus, and that Taurus area of your life is what you want to take action on. Mars visits a zodiac sign once every 2 years. So you have not had Mars in your house of Taurus in 2 years. This is a 6-week opportunity for you to Mars take action, make decisions, make moves, do things about things in the Taurus area of your life in relationship to the cosmic energy to be more in flow. So that's my tip and trick for the month of June with Mars. And then let's talk about our feminine energy, Venus. We love Venus because, again, she rules over our relationships, our money, our material possessions, our creative projects. And this month, she is in the zodiac energy of Gemini. She will go from 10 degrees of Gemini to 15 degrees of Cancer. So see if you have any planets between those degree points in your birth chart. And if so, they are going to get Venus's blessing, making it more beautiful, bringing in more harmony. Now, as she moves through the energy of Gemini, remember, she is about attracting, magnetizing, pulling in love to herself. And so we can energetically do that when we tap into Gemini energy. So connecting with people, sharing ourselves with other people, educating other people, teaching other people. There is a lot of opportunity for abundance by getting out there and meeting people and learning new things and expanding our mind. It is such a beautiful season for relationships. But let's break it down to Venus's entire dance for the month of June because she's very, very busy. So on the first day of June, she's at 14 degrees of Gemini where she runs into the sun. The sun is going to heat her up, fill her up with life and vitality and say, okay, we are definitely going to have the energy to deal with relationships, finances, creative passion projects, material possessions, all the things that Venus rules. So she's getting heated up by the sun, a big, powerful energy. And then she's going to dance along from 15 degrees until she gets to 19 degrees of Gemini. At that moment in time, she will have to square Saturn, where Saturn comes in and cross-checks her and says, hey, I know you're out there connecting and socializing and meeting new people and flirting and having multiple dates. And maybe within your marriage, you are learning new things and speaking a lot or going to conferences. And Saturn says, hold up, pause, right? Saturn is our little cosmic stop sign and says, wait. Is this really what you desire? Is this really what you value? Are the people you're hanging out with and learning from really teaching you what you want to learn? Saturn's just checking in on us and making sure that what we're doing is really in alignment for the long term. So we have a little cross check with our finances, making sure that we are paying attention, that we're trusting our intuition, that we are not just willy-nilly getting out there and meeting everyone and giving ourselves away too much in our relationships. And then Venus goes from that point and dances until she gets to 29 degrees of Gemini. At that moment, she will run into Mercury where they will fuse their energy. And that is a beautiful energy because Mercury is about communication and Venus is about love. And so we're speaking lovely things. We're talking to people we enjoy and that we value. It's a great time to negotiate, write contracts because people will be in their heart space, will be wanting to receive and wanting to give. Beautiful energy around that time. It happens on the 17th of June. But at that exact same time, Venus will square Neptune. And Neptune brings in the dreaminess, the romantic energy, the faith and the hope and the optimism and the beliefs sometimes that we need in our relationships to say, you know what? I believe this person can change. I believe this person has a good heart. I just need to ask more questions. I just need to understand. We need to keep learning together. We need to keep growing together. We need to have more empathy for one another. Like 17th or the 20th is a very powerful time for our relationships. Venus will then move into Cancer. And as she moves into Cancer, she moves in with Mercury side by side, and she will be dancing through the energy of feminine, softness, going into our emotional, heart-centered spaces, connecting and relating to family, people from the past. It's very nostalgic. You might go through photo albums and want to connect with people that you haven't talked to in a long time. So big, powerful energy around the 20th until the end of the month. Now, one last thing, as Venus dances through the energy of Cancer, she will get to 11 degrees of Cancer. And at that point, she squares the nodes, the North Node and the South Node. And that is a cosmic check-in point, because remember, the nodes deal with fate, they deal with destiny. And as Venus squares them, it's like, hey, do these people meet your needs, wants, and desires, Aries, or are you going back to people pleasing, Libra, because you're back in a past pattern, Cancer? Cancer is the past, people that we've connected with, our family. Are you going back into old habits? Because it's a sense of safety and security to be around these people, but you're falling back into what we're breaking out of, South Node Libra, people pleasing, just keeping the harmony in the relationship, just to keep the relationship? Or are you doing what you need to do, North Node and Aries, and protecting your own needs, wants, and desires, and your own independence? So there'll be a very huge check-in point at the end of the month with Venus squaring the nodes. I'll give you those dates in the date-by-date breakdown. But if you are a Taurus or Libra rising, your ruling planet this month is very busy and overall impacting all of us in relationships. Then let's move into Mercury. Mercury is our messenger. He's our communicator. Wherever he is in the sky dictates how we are expressing, speaking, thinking, and what we're loving to learn about. This month, he's very busy. He moves through 3 different zodiac energies. He is hauling butt. He got stuck in Aries during his retrograde. He was there for a very long time. He is over it. He is sick of it. He is on the move again. So we actually start out the month with him in the zodiac energy of Taurus at 25 degrees. He'll then move into Gemini, cross all the way through Gemini, and then enter into Cancer, ending the month at 25 degrees of Cancer. So you want to go ahead and check your birth chart from 25 degrees of Taurus all the way till 25 degrees of Cancer. If you have any planets between those spaces, Mercury will come visit and bring more information and conversations necessary around those areas of your life, and especially in the areas of life that those zodiac signs rule for you. Again, I know it's very complex, and if you're still learning astrology, these are great to do mini astro weather forecast sessions with me. Some people do them month to month, so we can kind of break things down in a micro scale during one of your readings, or you can go ahead and do a complete astro forecast for the year ahead, where I help you understand the overlying themes based on your unique birth chart. But for the purpose of this video, let's talk about Mercury in Taurus as we kick off the month. Mercury is coming out of his conjunction with Uranus. Mercury is our mind, how we express, think, and communicate. Uranus helps us rebel. He helps us think outside the box, unconventionally. So maybe all of a sudden you have found an answer to a problem. It's just not how society would tell you to solve that problem. And maybe you're wanting to do things in a completely different way and rebel a little bit. And so you had a conversation with someone that they were like, what are you talking about? Like, that's never going to work. But in your mind, you are convicted. You knew that this out of the way thinking, this Uranian energy is going to work for you. And so that is the energy we move into June with. But then on the 4th, very quickly in the month, Mercury will move into his home sign of Gemini. He loves to be here. This is where we get social, busy, busy, busy. We're wanting to connect and learn. Be very careful during this season from June 4th until June 20th, as Mercury is in his home sign, Jupiter is here blowing up and expanding this energy where you go down rabbit holes. You are learning way too much. You are listening to too many people. You're watching too many YouTube videos. You're reading too many books. You are having too many conversations. You're texting too many people. This is a season where your mind might just like be spinning wheels and burning up, and smoke is coming out of your mind. This will be a huge learning lesson for many of us to slow down our mind, to slow down our nervous system, to turn off our brain, to tap into meditation, because this is the season that will be most challenging. So just trying to incorporate those little things throughout your month ahead is going to be very helpful, because you're going to want to be social, and that's okay. That is the season for it. We just don't want to overdo it. Gemini rules the lungs and the brain. So these are 2 body parts we definitely want to nourish. We definitely want to protect. That is why I created the Zodiac Astrology Tea Blend, because each zodiac sign rules a specific body part, and that specific zodiac tea blend helps you nourish the body part that that zodiac sign rules. So the Gemini blend has herbamate and skullcap and mullein and blackberry tea, all things to help with brain function and clarity and to protect your lungs as you are communicating up a storm. So, Mercury, like I said, this month, very busy. Let's break down his micro moments. On the 4th, he moves into Gemini. He gets a boost by Pluto, a trine from Pluto. Air trines. Pluto is saying, hey, you want to have a different life? You got to speak different. You got to think different. You got to communicate with different people. Pluto says, push you out of your comfort zone. Go get it. Don't do what you used to do. Let the old way of thinking and the old way of speaking die off, and let's do it in a new way. Let's transform. Mercury also answering to Pluto might be having you uncover some secrets, reveal some things. Be very careful around this time to not gossip because Pluto can kick you in the butt. And Mercury likes to gossip when he's in Gemini because he's like talking to this person about that person. Then he talks to this person, is like, did you hear this? Be careful this month with gossip. We also might hear a lot of things about a lot of people as other people are gossiping. So just be careful what you share because as Mercury dances along, he's going to run into Jupiter right away. This is going to be very social at 2 degrees of Gemini. So 2 planets at 2 degrees with Gemini, the twins, 2. It is going to be like double. Like you have 2 meetings in one day that are really big. You have 2 different appointments with 2 different business partners. You have 2 dates planned within a short amount of time. Maybe even in your marriage, you have 2 different choices to make that are really, really big. So lots of double energy going on. Then right after that, on the 6th of June, Mercury is the ruler of the new moon in Gemini. That is happening at 16 degrees, very powerful energy. Right after that, Mercury dances along and gets to 19 degrees of Gemini, where he will square Saturn. When this happens, Saturn says, stop, hold on, you're thinking too much, you're doing too much, you're connecting too much, you're sharing too much. Let's pull it back. Let's make sure that it's something that actually feels aligned. Let's make sure we're trusting our intuition with who we're telling things to and what we're sharing, and also tapping into people's opinions and saying, does that actually align with me? Or are they just feeding me a whole bunch of baloney? These are things that we're going to have to get cross-checked when Mercury squares Saturn. Then he dances along. He gets to 29 degrees of Gemini and gets into that square with Neptune. Catches up to Venus, hugs her in the sky. This is a beautiful creative time. The 17th to the 20th of June, the mind, Mercury, in a square with Neptune, who says, hey, we got this creative project. We've got this idea. Like, it's time for us to share it. It's time for us to write the book. It's time for us to get it out there. I know there's a challenge. It's a square. It's hard for you to share. It's hard for you to put your face out there. It's hard for you to do the things you need to do. But Neptune's like, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be great. Have faith. Trust the process because your creative abilities are super heightened at this time. So we love this energy. And then Mercury on the 17th moves into the zodiac energy of Cancer, where he's going to dance along, get to 11 degrees of Cancer, square the nodes. This is, again, the fates of destiny and our past saying, hey, are we speaking up for ourselves? North node, remember, Mercury's retrograde. Back in April, he ran into the nodes, started and ended his retrograde interacting with the North Node that said, Mercury, speaking what you want, what you need, what you desire. Are you focusing your mind on yourself or are you giving it away to everyone else, your attention? Now we are getting a little cosmic check-in when we get to the end of the month where Mercury has to answer to the nodes again and say, hold on, are you still people pleasing? Are you still giving away your energy for relationships? Are you doing what you need to do for yourself? And then we end the month in the zodiac energy of Cancer, where he at 23 degrees of Cancer squares Chiron. And there's that healing again. There's the wounds, the stories we're telling ourselves. Are we meeting people in relationships this month and connecting with people, business, romantic, friendships, and we're realizing that what we're speaking to them about or how they're speaking to us is bringing up some wounds, bringing up some old trauma that we thought we healed? Are the stories that we're hearing from other people feeding into the old stories that we used to tell ourselves? This is a very important time at the end of the month as we are in the water empathic energy of Cancer to say, I'm really sensitive right now. And I am absorbing everything that people are saying. And I need to make sure that as people are speaking around me and what they're speaking, I'm not letting that feed into my wounds because I worked on healing these stories. I worked on healing my mental thoughts and my limiting beliefs. I did all that back in May. I'm ready for a new story and I got to be careful who I expose myself to. So we're going to get a little check-in at the end of the month. So if you are a Gemini, or a Virgo rising, your ruling planet Mercury is busy, busy this month. So we're almost done with the planet by planet breakdown. Let's talk about the two lunations this month. We have the new moon in Gemini happening on 6/6, the 6/6 portal. I'll be making a complete separate video on that, but it's a very powerful lunation because we will have Venus conjunct the sun and the moon. We will also have Mercury, the ruler, here in Gemini, and also Jupiter expanding and blessing this new moon. So lots of powerful energy around that time for new moons, new beginnings, setting new intentions. Gemini in connection, communication, learning, experiencing things, traveling, meeting up with people, and really having this opportunity to discover what you don't know yet, expanding your perspective, finding a mentor, meeting new people, socializing, dating. If you are wanting to meet someone, we are loving this new moon. So again, we'll talk so much more about that in a separate video, but if you're wanting new connections with people, you're going to get it if you set those intentions and ground in to the Gemini energy that you have within you. We all have it within us. And also looking at the Gemini area of your birth chart, that is the area of your life that you can get this powerful cosmic burst of energy. Remember, we said at the beginning, it is a cosmic bursting flame, forest fire, trailblazing energy as we tap in during that new moon. The second lunation this month is the full moon in Capricorn as the sun moves into Cancer, and the moon will be directly opposite at 1 degree on the first day of Cancer sun season. We will have a second full moon in Capricorn at 29 degrees next month, but this is the first of the two-part series. And that full moon is highlighting and illuminating Capricorn, the structures and rules and systems of our life, the things that we have built up over a long period of time, relationships we've had for a while that we're starting to realize with the highlighting of this full moon isn't maybe meeting our emotional needs. And it's not maybe able to come with us into the future. And we don't want to build it anymore. We don't want to keep that structure. We maybe want to take that relationship down to its foundation and rebuild it. Or we might notice at this time that we have outgrown it and we've outdated it. And our emotional needs have changed and our desires have changed. And the eclipses have brought new things that we want, like we want to move or we want to start a new job or we want to do different things. And maybe at this time we notice that the relationships in our life don't align with that. And so we're recognizing this during the first full moon in Capricorn, and then we're doing something about it next month at the second full moon in Capricorn. Again, we'll talk so much more about this when we get to the full moon video on my channel here, breaking that all down from the lens of relationships. So subscribe, follow along, you know what to do. And lastly, we're going to talk about the sun seasons, remembering that whatever sun season we're currently in, it's very important because the sun shines a spotlight down. When you go outside, you feel the sun on your skin. It brings heat, life, and vitality, and it tells you where to focus your energy. It's like a spotlight. And as we start out the month, the sun is in the zodiac energy of Gemini, heating up that area of your birth chart and helping us all feel the cosmic potency of Gemini. Again, we know lighthearted, jovial, witty, conversationalist, curious, getting out there and meeting people, socializing, traveling, connecting, all the Gemini things. So this is for a time where social media could be on fire. You could be going places to catch up with friends, meeting up with family, meeting new people. It's like the summer fun really kicks off here. Flirtatious energy. Gemini is lighthearted. We're not trying to commit to anything. We're not trying to put meaning to anything. This is just a season for us to get out there and just live a little, laugh a little, like make sure that you do some of the Gemini bucket list items. If you have the alchemy journal, make sure you go to the Gemini sun season page. I have that bucket list there for you for a reason. These are things that you can do during the Gemini sun season to align with the cosmos. I also posted them over on my TikTok. You can go see that in the collage that I posted. But then we get to the 20th of the month and we have the summer solstice, an exciting day where we have the max sun in the sky in the northern hemisphere. It is officially the summer season of abundance and flowers blooming and our gardens giving us fruits and vegetables. And when we think of it from a primal lens, when the sun is out a lot longer in our 24-hour day, we're able to get out there more and explore more because we don't have to hide in our cave in the darkness at night. And so a beautiful season for us to move into where we really just get to shine the Cancer energy onto our life. Safety, security, comfort, self-care, compassion, and empathy. It's going to be a beautiful season for us. Again, make sure you do your bucket list items. A lot of them are going to be around connection with people that really make you feel safe. And remember, during the Cancer sun season, the 30 days of the sun in the zodiac energy, we're going to have 2 full moons, one on the first day, one on the last day. That second full moon in Capricorn is what we call a blue moon. Once in a blue moon will be happening next month as we move the sun through the energy of Cancer. So overall, you can tell we have a lot of different energies happening this month. So let's break it down now date by date. You want to go ahead and grab your calendar for this portion of the video so you can see if any of these major cosmic weather events are happening on the specific days that you may have something already planned, and you may want to rearrange some things to be more in alignment with the cosmic weather. So I call this portion of the video What's in the Stars. We're going to go through week by week. So what's in the stars from June 2nd until June 8th? Well, before we dive into this week, let's first summarize what happened on June 1st and what energies we are moving into this week with. The first one being Mars is conjunct Chiron. This is Mars, our masculine wounds, Chiron that we need to heal. There may be things that we are afraid to do, to take action on. There's maybe some things holding us back because of our past or maybe because of our childhood. And so we are addressing these things. So moving into this first week, we may be coming out of a season of wanting to take action, wanting to move forward, wanting to be brave and bold and courageous and do something. But we just had to address the reason why we haven't, why we've been afraid, why we've been stuck. And now we have this energy of hopefully healing that we're moving into this week with. As well, we have Mercury, who is just conjunct Uranus. Mercury is our mind, what we're speaking and expressing. And as we move into this week, he was conjuncting Uranus, the rebel, the revolutionary. So maybe you've been speaking up and speaking things to people that threw them for a loop, or maybe you brought an idea to life that other people just were like, whoa, 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 that's not going to work. But you have a vision with your mind now being out of the box with Uranus. So hopefully you're thinking unconventionally as we move into this week. And Mercury is in his final steps of Taurus. So hopefully your mind is on what you value. It's thinking about what makes your life more beautiful and more pleasurable as we move into this week. Now, as we start out the week on the 2nd, we have Jupiter in a trine with Pluto. This is an energy that we have already been feeling and will feel for about the next 2 weeks because Jupiter is now in the zodiac energy of Gemini, expanding and growing us by socializing and networking and connecting and getting out there and being more curious and being open-minded and exploring new horizons. And Pluto is transformation. It's an air-air trine from Aquarius to Gemini. Aquarius is of the future. Pluto is helping us rebirth ourselves, to go after the things that we desire, to take control of our life, to get rid of some fear and rebirth this new era of our life. And so this is a very supportive energy that we're going to be feeling as we move into this week. And then right after that, on the 3rd, we officially have Mercury joining the party in Gemini. I like to say that when Jupiter moved into Gemini, he decided to have a huge block party to welcome him into the neighborhood of Gemini. And now the sun is there, Mercury is there, and Venus is there. And at the end of the week, we're going to have the new moon in Gemini as well. So there is a cosmic collective party going on, amping up the Gemini area of your life. So make sure you know in your birth chart where Mercury is now going to be parking for the next 3 weeks. He will be here until June 17th. So look at the Gemini area of your life. Your mind will be more in focus on that specific arena for you, depending on your rising sign. And also understanding that when Mercury is in Gemini, he's at home here. He loves to be here. So there'll be a lot of communication, a lot of curiosity, a lot of asking questions. People will be sharing their stories. People will be more open to giving you advice. There might be almost too much advice, too much noise, too much chatter, too many opinions. So be aware of all of that as we move through the next 3 weeks with Mercury now in Gemini. Then we get to the 4th, the next day, Mercury will officially conjoin Jupiter. This is an expansion. This is an explosion. Not only does he run into Jupiter, but remember, he will have to answer to Pluto as well. And so this is a season where we will have to expand our voice and speak up and ask for help. And Jupiter says, hey, I will bless you if you share your story, if you get out there and connect with people. This is amazing for relationships because maybe there's something you've been meaning to tell someone in your life, and now you're finally ready to share your story, and it brings some blessing into the relationship. Maybe that sharing of your story gives them a perspective that they need to be in better understanding of you. Now, Pluto asks for transformation. He says, hey, you got to take control of your own narrative, right? Mercury is our mind, and Pluto says, hey, we got to rebirth things. The old cycle is dying out. So maybe there's some stories you've been telling yourself. Maybe there's some things in which you have learned before, but they don't apply to the now. So there's a lot of energy towards the new thoughts and the new conversations and the new people that you're connecting with. Like I said, especially when we get to the new moon at the end of the week. Then on the 4th as well, we have the sun conjoining Venus. So Mercury and Jupiter are together and Venus and the sun are together. And this is a beautiful energy again for relationships because Venus rules over all the things we love. So she is saying in Gemini, hey, I have to learn more about the things I value. So if I value my finances, maybe I need to learn more about tax preparation or my budget. If I love maybe this car I want to buy, well, maybe I need to go ask more questions and find out the details from the dealerships and what I need to do to buy the car. And in relationships specifically, the sun is heating up Venus, heating up the potential that we have to connect in relationships, to shine a spotlight upon relationships, especially the ones where we feel lighthearted and curious and jovial because we are in the energy of Gemini. So a powerful day on the 4th as well. Then we get to the 6th. On the 6th, we have the new moon in Gemini. So we add another celestial body to the pileup, to the party of Gemini. And this is the opportunity for new beginnings, new fresh starts in the Gemini area of your life. You can see it's a total pileup here. The sun, the moon, and Venus are all going to be at 16 degrees. This is a beautiful alignment when Venus is fusing into the newness. She is magnetizing, bringing in abundance, attracting in beautiful things into Gemini area of our life at the time of the new moon. So make sure you do a new moon ritual. This is on 6/6, the 6/6 portal. So beautiful, beautiful, powerful energy. And then we get to the 8th. And on the 8th, Venus makes it to 19 degrees of Gemini, where she will square off with Saturn. And so whatever beautiful relationships, whatever conversations, whatever connections or networking or beautiful new harmonious things are coming into your life, Saturn says to Venus, hey, stop. Remember, he's our cosmic stop sign and says, hold up, slow down. We want to make sure that this is something we really want to be committed to, that we want to create a foundation with. Before we go any further with this person, let's ask a few more questions. Let's really be sure, trust our intuition, our inner knowing, right? In Pisces, Saturn in Pisces, before we go any further. So there's kind of this little cross check with all the newness and all the exciting flirtation and expansive energy of meeting new people. We're going to get a cross check right at the end of the first week of June. That then leads us into the second week of June as we keep marinating in this Gemini energy, and we have Mars making some moves. So let's get into it. What's in the stars from June 9th until June 15th, but we kick off the week on the 9th with the sun squaring Saturn. This is an energy where we can feel maybe some obstacles or challenges or something coming up that we're trying to focus on, right? The sun in Gemini is highlighting something in the Gemini area of our life, along with Venus, Mercury, and Jupiter expanding it right after this new moon. So maybe there's some blessings or something that's been coming in to the Gemini area of your life. And right now, Saturn on the 9th is going to say, hold up, pause for a second. Let's make sure this is something we want to commit to. Let's have some discipline around it. Let's have some structure. Let's have some boundaries. If it is something we do want to build and continue forward with. So this is kind of cosmic cross-checking of energy of all the things that's been going on in Gemini. Then also on the 9th, we kick off the week with Mars moving into the zodiac energy of Taurus from Aries. This is a big shift of energy, right? Because Mars is our masculine energy and Mars is how we take action and how we move forward. And for the last 6 weeks, we've had Mars in his home sign of Aries. So we've been having more energy, more stamina, maybe fighting for things, going after things, being more bold, being more curious. Now, it hasn't been all easy peasy because we did have the eclipses there and Mercury's retrograde there. And there was a lot of rearranging that we were needing to do and fear with Chiron here to overcome. But nevertheless, we've had some energy and some stamina to go for some things. But now, as of the 9th, we've got Mars moving into the energy of Taurus. And this is our chi and our stamina and our masculine energy slowing down, coming back to earth and saying, okay, slow and steady wins the race. Let me just make sure that the things that I'm doing and the way that I'm prioritizing things in my life is really how I value my life, what I truly want to spend my time on. This is a shifting of energy. We can definitely feel our stamina stamina slow down a little bit. Maybe you want to be more of a homebody. Mars is in detriment here because he actually likes to be in Scorpio. So he's the furthest away from home that he possibly could be. And so we can kind of see steam instead of this boil that we've had. You might be feeling more stubborn, more determined. Some other energy that we can kind of enjoy during this next 6 weeks is planning and strategizing and being willing to be patient in our relationships, not fighting so aggressively, but rather saying, okay, this is worth my time and this isn't worth my time, and really understanding what we want to plant and what that is going to sow for us in the future. So, beautiful energy. We'll definitely be making decisions with more intention and being a little bit more methodical in the way in which we're moving through life. So, we do love this energy. Then on the 11th, as Mars moves through Taurus, of course, he's going to square Pluto. And this can be a little bit of an aggressive day, right? Because Pluto is the energy of instinct and control and power and manipulation and helping us move forward and transform. And Mars is like a little toddler. He's willing to fight for anything. And so on this day, it could be kind of this impatient energy, this explosive energy, conflict, because we're trying to unstick something, right? Taurus is a fixed energy. So wherever that falls in your birth chart, that's an area of life you like to stay the same. And same thing with the Aquarius area of your life. And so Pluto is going to take 20 years to transform that area of your life. But this Taurus area had a lot of potency back in May. And now Mars is coming in to take action to unstick it. And so this day might be kind of an explosive energy between your Aquarius and your Taurus area of life. So pay attention in your birth chart where that could be. But just cosmically and collectively, we could see people being impatient, fighting for things, wanting to disrupt things, wanting to make huge changes in our life. So be aware on the 11th, not a super ideal day for relationships. On the 12th, then, over back in Gemini, we have Mercury getting to 19 degrees of Gemini, which means that he is next in line to have that square with Saturn. And so on that day, we are going to have to cross-check. Saturn says stop, our mind, our thoughts, our communication, who we're sharing information with, how we're sharing information, how we're speaking. What are we learning? Are we learning and focusing our mind on things that will actually build us for the future, right? Saturn is all about long-term commitments, discipline, structure. And so we might be reading a lot of things that really aren't helpful. We might be watching a lot of YouTube videos that are just confusing us. We might be asking opinions from people and having lots of conversations with people, and it's not really going to help us move forward. So we definitely want to check our mental health on that day. There might be some obstacles or limitations or challenges that Saturn throws our way and says, hold up, slow down. You don't need to tell everybody everything. You don't need to ask for everyone's opinions. Come back in within yourself. So definitely pay attention on the 12th. On the 14th, we have Mercury conjoining the sun. So this is now at 24 degrees of Gemini as well. This is a day where our mind becomes very alert, right? Think of the sun. It heats up. It brings vitality. This is a beautiful day where if you have to accomplish a mental task, the sun is going to heat up your mind. So you are going to be like all cylinders firing, really able to focus and multitask and ask the right questions. So beautiful day for doing things, especially if it's with other people where there needs to be a lot of brainstorming or conversation or connection. So definitely a good day to put some meetings on your schedule. That then wraps up the second week of June. And then we're moving into the third week. And this week we are starting to exit out of some of this Gemini potency and moving into Cancer sun season. So I absolutely love the third week of June. It's going to feel like a shift. It's going to feel like a cool down from the blazing fire of intensity and busyness that we've been feeling for the first 2 weeks. So let's get into it for the third week of June. What's in the stars from June 16th to the 22nd? And we are starting out the 16th with Venus squaring Neptune. A very dreamy, a very magical, a very rom-com kind of day because Venus rules over everything that we love, our relationships, our money, our creative projects, our material possessions. And Neptune is like living in la la land, super delulu, helps us believe and have faith that we can buy the thing that we want, that we've been dreaming of, helping us see our partner with a little bit more rose-colored glasses on, seeing the best in people. We might really want to be helping underdogs at this time because Pisces is helping those who are less fortunate, being super compassionate and empathetic. This would be a beautiful day to volunteer or be of service to somebody or use your knowledge and your wisdom to help inspire someone else. So if you want to write a blog or start a podcast or speak at an event. This would be an absolutely beautiful day to put that on your calendar, and definitely for launching some creative projects. Now, the day after that, on the 17th, Mercury now gets to 29 degrees of Gemini and gets into his square with Neptune. So that adds our mind to this whole creative energy, to the compassionate energy, to the ability of us to see things from a delusional perspective. So your mind might be a little foggy, a little hazy at this time, not super optimal to get logistical things done or to nail down details or to sign contracts or have anything really specific in writing, because what you're hearing and what you're reading and what you're learning from other people might have this little foggy veil over it. So we want to be very careful that we're not believing everything we hear when we get to the 17th. So instead, do the Venus thing. Give love, receive love from the heart. The mind is going to be influenced by Neptune at this time, but you could definitely have some heightened intuition. So definitely journal your dreams around this time. You may get some great creative inspiration. Then also on this day, because Mercury gets to 29 degrees of Gemini, he runs into Venus. And so this is where we infuse the love, the heart of Venus with the mind of Mercury. And so this is beautiful energy for relationships. I absolutely love the 17th through the 20th and maybe even the 22nd for relationships, because we are infusing the mind with the heart. We're able to speak with love. We're able to connect with people deeper in relationships. We're willing to talk. We're willing to be open. If you've been needing to go to therapy with someone in your life, this would be a great time to do it. Now, again, beware, because Neptune can kind of make things a little foggy and a little hazy, but it's a great start because we're essentially a little delulu in our mind to believe the best in someone, and we're able to maybe see that person with a little bit more rose-colored glasses than we normally would. On the flip side, if you're needing to anchor something in a relationship and to make a decision in a relationship, not ultimately the best time to do it. So be aware of signing contracts or making major decisions. But for the beneficial building of energy, I do love the 17th. Now, on the 17th, later that day, because Venus and Mercury are now at 29 degrees of Gemini, they are then going to hug side by side, holding hands, saying, let's go together into the next zodiac energy of Cancer. Now, this is beautiful because as Mercury moves into Cancer, our mind, Mercury, starts thinking more watery, Cancer. This is where we become a little bit more nostalgic. We're thinking of the past. We're more empathetic. We're more sensitive. Our intuition is more heightened, right? Because water energy is about our feelings. We're willing to share our feelings. We're willing to experience our feelings. Our mind gets a little bit more soupy, but sometimes that's okay, because sometimes we don't need to tell someone all the details of how many times they've done something or what they should be doing. Instead, we should be thinking with our heart and being very connected to that space. So we love that energy. Now, Venus in Cancer is lovely. We love this energy for the next 3 weeks because the way in which we are going to love and be loved is in a very feminine, soft way. Cancer is the mother, Cancer is the nurturer, Cancer is the provider. And so these are the types of energies that may show up in all the relationships in our life, where maybe we're more willing to make someone a nice cup of tea and invite them over and willing to listen to them because we're feeling more empathetic with our mind in Cancer. We might be able to, cook someone a nice home cooked meal that just makes them feel really loved. Now, we do want to be aware with Venus in Cancer, we could want to go back to relationships from the past because Cancer is very nostalgic. And so sometimes we find safety or comfort in people that have known us for a long time, but yet we're trying to grow, on a cosmic scale here with Jupiter and Gemini. We're trying to meet new people and we're trying to connect with new people. We're trying to get out of our comfort zone, right? The North Node is still in Aries. So we're trying to do new things and focus on ourselves. And so this could really be the time we want to be aware from June 17th for the next 3 weeks as Venus is in Cancer, that we don't go back in time to people that are just familiar, that are comfortable, because we're so afraid of getting out of our comfort zone with Jupiter in Gemini. So just be aware, not that that's a bad thing, but we don't want to get stuck in the past. People from the past may come back into your life. So definitely keep an eye on this energy. Then on the 20th, we have our next shifting of energy of the sun getting to 29 degrees of Gemini, squaring Neptune in Pisces at 29 degrees, and then immediately bopping moving over into the energy of Cancer. So on the 20th, we're going to have, again, the sun highlighting, shining a spotlight on the Gemini area of our life one last time for the final moments. We've been focusing on this area of our life during the entire sun season of Gemini. We've made some progress. We've met some new people. We've connected in new relationships. We've gotten some laughs in. We've had some fun. And now Neptune is saying just trust that it's going to continue, right? Neptune is faith and trust. And so we kind of move out of that energy, and the sun then officially on the 20th moves into Cancer, and this is the summer solstice energy. Beautiful day for you to ceremoniously celebrate. The sun at its peak illumination has the most attention for the entire day in the northern hemisphere, and it really represents that kickoff of abundance, right? In the summer, we have the trees lush and green, the flowers are blooming, the herbs that can help heal us are prosperous, the fruits and veggies are becoming ripe. Like, this is such a beautiful day to celebrate this energy of the sun moving into the zodiac energy of Cancer. And this will be a time where we start to feel the shift of energy. Now out of Gemini into this more gentle, softer, slowing down moment. We've been busy, busy, busy since eclipse season of March, April, May. The first half of June has been busy, and now we get to slow down, come home, do some self-care, nourish ourselves, refill our cups, decide what we love, and tap into our feelings and assessing how we should move forward. And then we can continue moving forward after Cancer season. So it's kind of like this cosmic little pause in the astrological year. And then immediately after the summer solstice, as if the sun hasn't been up to enough this week, we then have officially the full moon in Capricorn. And this is the first of 2 full moons in Capricorn. The second one will be next month. So this one on the 21st of June is at 1 degrees of Capricorn. Next month, the full moon in Capricorn will be at 29 degrees at the aneretic degree. And you could see we got a lot of stuff going on at the 29 degree mark, right? We had the sun, Venus, and Mercury squaring Neptune at 29 degrees. We're going to have a full moon next month at 29 degrees. We got Pluto moving from Aquarius back to 29 degrees of Capricorn. So 29 degrees is this moment of like where everything's about to change. It's the final moments before you know your whole life is going to shift. And we're kind of in that cosmic energy right now where it's like we got to wrap some stuff up. We got to get the final lesson. We got to really hit home what it is we need to do and to clear out so we can step into the bigger and better things for us. And so at the full moon in Capricorn, it's the first of 2 lunations. The second one will be the blue moon in Capricorn, but this one is going to highlight and illuminate the structures in our life, Capricorn, the things we've had for a long time, Capricorn, that we want to release and let go of. That does not serve our emotional health, because Cancer deals with our emotions, and the sun is highlighting our emotions and how we're feeling about things and what makes us feel safe and what makes us feel secure and what nourishes us. And with Venus and Mercury here as well, our mind's going to be thinking those thoughts. We're going to want to be loved by people hearing our feelings and taking time to listen to our emotions. And the full moon is saying, hey, these people, these relationships are never going to be able to do that. It's time to let them go. So big illumination around relationships. I'm going to have a full video on this on my YouTube channel, especially highlighting the relationships that we may have to let go of that we've had for quite some time. And that is a big way to end the 3rd week of June. And so we have a lot of shifting of energy. We're now in Cancer season, moving into the 4th week of June, which is going to reveal a lot of things to us through our intuition and through our feelings. So let's get into it. In the final week of June, what's in the stars from June 23rd until June 29th? Well, we kick off the week on the 22nd into the 23rd with Mercury making it to 11 degrees of Cancer, and he will square the nodes. This is important because we know the North Node is what our eyes should be on. It's our North Star, Aries, me, what I want, what I desire, focusing on myself, being independent, and letting go and releasing South Node, Libra. And now Mercury, our mind, comes to this square and saying, stop, check in with your destiny. Are you mentally still giving more energy and attention to your needs, your wants, and your desires? Or are you falling back into old habits of people pleasing, keeping the peace, keeping the harmony? And that is detrimental to your mental health and your emotional health, because Mercury is now in Cancer. So it's about how we feel. We are thinking based on how we are feeling. So if we don't feel safe, we know that our mind thinks certain things. If we feel nourished and we feel like our cup is full and everything is great in our lives, we're able to think clearly, right? And so this is a very nervous system kind of energy where we're kind of taking this cosmic pause on the 23rd and saying, let's check in and make sure we're not giving away too much of our energy and our mental energy to other people. and we're still focusing on what we need, want, and desire. Then on the 26th, the Venus catches up and makes it to 11 degrees of Cancer and also squares the North Node and the South Node. So now we are looking at our relationships, and we're saying in our relationships, within the relationship, whether it's romantic, business, friendship, are we still getting our needs met? Are we still being the main character of our life, or are we people pleasing? Are we leaning back to the South Node in Libra, what we're supposed to be purging and cleansing? We are going back to the eclipses that we had in March at this time and doing a little cosmic check-in and saying, I don't know. I feel like in that relationship, things were getting better, but now I'm going back to just doing everything that they want. And I've kind of lost track of what I want and what I desire. And now I'm feeling some type of way about it. There's going to be a lot of feelings coming up around this time and wanting to get back on track with our North Node. So this is a big week for us to check in if we are still taking the energy we need towards the Aries area of our life and making sure we're still the main character, because we've met a lot of people through the first 2 weeks of June in this Gemini energy. We've been wanting to socialize and wanting to get out there and wanting to connect and wanting to learn, but now we're starting to feel some type of way about it. So it's a big feeling week. Then we get to the 28th and Mercury moves along a little bit further, makes it to 23 degrees of Gemini, and he will then square Chiron. And so this is going back to those thought patterns we used to have that caused us pain. Remember, Mercury ran into Chiron 3 times during his retrograde. And so there was a lot of mental health healing that we were supposed to be doing, where the stories we were telling ourselves and the way in which we were thinking and the way in which we were communicating and how we were speaking to other people was not serving us. It was causing more pain. And we hopefully got over that. And those might be creeping back in now. So pay attention on this day how your thoughts are affecting the way in which you feel about yourself, about the world around you, and about the people in your life. There might also be some healing that is needed in your relationships around this time, where you need to speak up and talk about the pain or the wounds that someone is inflicting on you with their words. So definitely a time for healing on the 28th. And the 29th, we get to the final kaboom of the month, and that is our tough love dad Saturn now going retrograde. He will retrograde from 19 degrees of Pisces back to 11 degrees. So check your birth chart. Do you have any planets in that area of the sky when you were born? If so, Saturn is coming to teach that planet, that area of your life, that energy within you, some lessons. But for the rest of us, Saturn moving backwards in the energy of Pisces is going to feel like a break. We're going to kind of feel like, you know what, the cosmic lessons aren't so bad right now. Our tough love dad is stepping back, allowing us to step up, be our own parent, be mature, be responsible, keep working on the things that we're supposed to be doing in the Pisces area of our life, creating a strong and solid foundation, being more committed, more disciplined to the Pisces area of your life. Saturn retrogrades are very important lesson learning periods for us, because he is the planet that teaches us our hardest lessons. I'll have an entire separate video on Saturn's retrograde and how it will apply to your rising sign. So make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for that video. And that then leads us to the end of June. What a different energy as we started out the month with all the planets in Gemini, putting air on the fire, helping us move forward, helping us think and speak and express and communicate, and ending the month with 3 planets in our feeling energy of Cancer, being soft and feminine and delicate and wanting to stay at home and wanting to nourish our cup and wanting to do self-care. And so we are taking a little cosmic pause at the end of June. Now, I will be doing a mid-month check-in, because I know this video is so long and there's so much going on, and it's like all these different things all at once. And so make sure you stay tuned right around the summer solstice. I'll make another video checking in, reminding you of some of these energies that we're going to be feeling at that time. Often when we do astro forecasting, you can hear about it, you can take notes about it, but it's not until that actual cosmic weather event is happening that it feels like it applies and it makes sense to your life. So as we get closer, we'll dive back into all of these energies. Now, as we wrap it up today, we will be moving into the rising sign forecast. So make sure when you're listening to your rising sign, you recognize that I use whole sign systems. We're going to be focusing on your primary life coach, what they're up to this month. We'll also be dabbling a little bit into the new moon and the full moon, but remember, each of those lunations will have a separate video where I'll break it down way more in depth. So for this, we're just kind of covering the summary of June and where in your life you can anticipate some changes, some highlights, some lessons. So before we do that, I just want to take a moment to say thank you so much for tuning into my video, hanging out with me, and allowing me to be your guide through the cosmic weather. If you're a part of the Astro family and have been here for a while, let me know in the comments below. And if you are new here, make sure you hit subscribe, follow along. I'll be doing a lot more more content about relationships specifically and how you can blend your energy, I have a podcast in the works that I'll be launching here very shortly that is going to break down all the relationships in our life and how we can understand them through the lens of astrology. And of course, most importantly, how you can have the best relationship with yourself by understanding your birth chart. So lots of good things coming your way. Make sure you give me a thumbs up so I know that you were here hanging out with me on this video. And also let me know in the comment section your rising sign, because I'm always curious how many of you are of the same rising sign. And now let's get into the rising sign forecast, understanding what the cosmic energy is in June for you and how you can ultimately have the best relationships for the month ahead. Aries Risings, there's a lot going on for you in the month of June. Now, make sure you go back and watch the planet by planet breakdown for your particular ruling planet. We can only get into so much during the rising sign forecast. You definitely want to know what your primary life coach is up to for the entire month of June. So make sure you go watch that portion of my video specifically for your primary life coach. So let's break it down, starting out with your primary life coach, who is Mars. So Mars this month starts out in the zodiac energy of Aries, your first house, your rising sign. And this is giving you the energy and the attention that you need on yourself, focusing and prioritizing your needs, your wants, your desires. This is making decisions around your physical body. Maybe you're going to the gym, maybe updating your wardrobe, changing your social media platforms. You are putting your vitality and your energy into yourself. But once we get to the 10th of June, Mars, your ruling planet, is moving into the zodiac energy of Taurus. We love this for you because Taurus is your second house. It is your money house. Now you are going to be putting your energy and your attention into your income, your finances, your budget, towards your material possessions, trying to acquire and fight for the resources that you desire. And Mars is going to be here all the way until July 21st. So you have a long time to have your ruling planet giving your energy and attention to your second house of income. So lucky for you, you've been having Mars in your first house where you've had a lot of energy and vitality and chi. You will notice that your energy dips a little when he moves into Taurus, because Taurus is more slow paced. It is patient. It is being strategic and understanding, and also moving in a way that is slow and steady, where every day is just a little bit, not overwhelming yourself. You're going to understand that you're going to put your energy towards what you value and what you prioritize instead of just running around with your pants on fire. So you're definitely going to feel this shift, Aries risings. Now we want to pay attention next to the sun seasons, because remember, the sun shines a spotlight upon a specific area of your life. And as we move into the month of June, the sun will be in the zodiac energy of Gemini. This is shedding a spotlight and highlighting your third house. Your third house is lit up this month because we have Jupiter here now expanding and blessing this area of your life, Venus and Mercury moving through this area of your chart, as well as the sun bringing life and vitality, asking you to focus your energy and your sight on your mental health. The third house is our house of communication, of connection, of learning. And when we come to relationships, we are looking at the relationships you have with your siblings and your neighbors. As Jupiter is here for the next year, you will be able to expand and find blessing and abundance in these specific connections. Networking with people through communities, through your neighborhoods, through spending more time with your siblings and learning from them. You also have pockets of opportunity here to become a mentor or a teacher to other people. And so the sun during the sun season of Gemini is asking you to focus some energy and attention on what you need to share with the world, like maybe starting a blog or starting a podcast, or what you need to learn yet to get into the next chapter of your life. Now, remember, we have a new moon here on 6/6, the 6/6 portal. This is going to be a great time for you to set intentions around meeting new people that can teach you things, maybe a new development or type of relationship with your siblings if you've fallen out of touch. And maybe if you are trying to connect with people in your local area, this would be a great time to manifest that or to start a new project that leads you to the people in your community. Now, as the sun moves into the zodiac energy of Cancer on June 20th and we hit the summer solstice, this is now going to shine a spotlight upon your area of home and family. So as we end the month of June, there's going to be a lot of energy shifting into this area of your life, asking you to maybe renovate your home, decorate your home, find a cute little sanctuary space in your home, maybe redoing your backyard, inviting your family and your friends over. You're definitely going to want to go into your crab shell a little bit around this sun season, but it's definitely a beautiful time to slow down and to just focus on your home and your family, because the first half of the month is going to be busy for you. You're going to feel this shift because Aries risings, your ruling planet will be in Taurus, the sun will be in Cancer, and this will be putting some earth and water into your typical fire energy. And once we're in Cancer sun season, remember, we're going to have 2 full moons in the zodiac energy of Capricorn. This is your 10th house. So you will have 2 opportunities to release and let go of something in your career space. This month on the 23rd will be the first of that full moon. The second one is going to be next month. We're considering that the blue moon, and that is the actual official release. So this month you might decide that your work-life balance isn't working for you, that maybe you want to leave your position, leave your role, leave your industry, leave your company. Maybe you want to leave working altogether if you're at retirement age. So something sparks or comes to light at the first full moon this month, and you officially let it go in your career sector when we get into the month of July. So Aries risings, lots going on for you. Of course, in my upcoming videos on the new and the full moon in the month of June, we will go into way more depth for your rising sign. So make sure you subscribe and follow along so you get those in-depth understandings as those times come up. And if you want to dive into a one-on-one reading where we can look at your month ahead based on your unique birth chart to break it down even more specifically, I'd be honored to do that. You'll find the link in the description box below. Good luck. Have an amazing month, Aries risings, and I will catch you in the next video. Taurus risings, what a month for you as your ruling planet Venus is moving from the zodiac energy of Gemini into the zodiac energy of Cancer. You are someone that is ruled by this beautiful planet, always asking where you can find beauty and pleasure in your life, attracting and magnetizing things to you. And that energy and the way in which you do it shifts depending on where your primary life coach planet Venus is at any given time. Now, make sure you go back and watch the planet by planet breakdown for your particular ruling planet. We can only get into so much during the rising sign forecast. You definitely want to know what your primary life coach is up to for the entire month of June. So make sure you go watch that portion of my video specifically for your primary life coach. So let's start out with that for the month of June, because there is a lot going on. Now, as we start out the month, Venus is in your 2nd house of Gemini. And so this is a great time for you in your money sector, where you are attracting and magnetizing in income opportunities, assets, and resources to you. You might be looking through the things that you already own and asking yourself if you value them, if you still find them beautiful. You might be looking at the way in which you make money and assessing if this really is bringing pleasure into your life, or if you're wanting to revamp this area. So this is a beautiful time for you for money, also for relationships, because Venus rules relationships that bring you income, that bring you money. A great time for you from the beginning of June until we get to the 17th, with Venus being here, for you to attract in ideal clients, business partners, people that want to invest in you. Maybe you are wanting to buy something on Facebook Marketplace, and all of a sudden you find the right person that has that item. So relationships are kind of a key for you this month into making your income sector more beautiful. And on top of Venus being in your money sector, we also have Jupiter here now, right? So Jupiter is going to expand your income in the year ahead. There's going to be lots of opportunities to meet other people that want to invest in you, that want to share their wealth with you, new ideal clients, magnetizing and attracting abundance in your material world. So Jupiter's gonna be blessing this for an entire year. Your ruling planet is really kicking off and powerhousing this energy for the first half of June. Mercury's gonna be here as well. And remember, when we get to 6/6, the new moon in Gemini is your money new moon of the year. This is a great time for you to set new intentions if you are wanting to get a new job, work a new dynamic in your career. So instead of working 9 to 5, you work on salary, you work 1099. Maybe you are wanting to buy something like a new car or a new asset and acquire something of wealth or status. This is going to be an amazing opportunity for you to set those intentions on 6/6. And then once we get to the 17th of June, your ruling planet Venus is going to move into the zodiac energy of Cancer, your third house. And we are kicking off Cancer Sun season, where the sun is going to shine its spotlight upon your third house. Up until that point, for the entire month of June, the sun will highlight your money sector. So it's a lot of money and relationship stuff for you for the first half of June. The second half of June, as the planets start dancing their way through your third house, you are going to be looking at relationships that you enter into that teach you something, or maybe you become the teacher or the mentor to someone else. It's going to be a focus and energy around your siblings, your neighbors, people you network with, people that help expand your mind. So a beautiful energy and a little bit of a shift as we move to the end of the month. Now remember, your ruling planet in Cancer will help you become more feminine, allow you to attract and receive by filling up your own cup first, by nourishing yourself and spending a lot of relationship time with the people closest to you that make you feel safe and secure. You do want to be aware, my Taurus risings, because you are ruled by Venus. And when Venus gets into Cancer, from the 17th of June, it could bring people back from your past or having you craving people that you've known for a long time because they feel safe. But your goal ultimately at this time is to expand yourself out of your comfort zone and meet new people. Remember, Jupiter in Gemini. Now, once we get to Cancer Sun season, we will kick off on the 21st with a full moon in Capricorn. That is the first of two full moons in the zodiac energy of Capricorn, which is your ninth house. The ninth house rules over legal systems, our philosophy, our belief systems, travel, foreign lands. So it's going to be a 1-2 series full moon. And the first one is really going to highlight or spotlight what in your life you have not yet accomplished. What else do you want to learn? If you're involved in any kind of legal situations, that could kind of be highlighted or culminated at that time and fully completed and wrapped up at the full moon next month. So something you want to pay attention to if you're in negotiations with someone or you're trying to solve a problem from a higher perspective with another person, that could be a great full moon for you to work through. So lots going on for you this month, Taurus risings. I'm going to send you so much love and light. Make sure you subscribe and follow along. We will be back to break down the new and the full moon in the month of June in my upcoming videos so you can understand even deeper from your rising sign how to move through those lunations. And if you want to do a one-on-one reading, I would love to hop in with you. I do 30-minute sessions where we can navigate the month ahead or any questions you may have about your birth chart that's more specific. So until then, I will catch you in the next video. So much love and light. Wishing you luck, Taurus rising. Gemini risings, what an exciting month for you as you have a complete planetary party in your first house. Not only that, the new moon of June is the new moon in Gemini, which is in your first house. It is your official kickoff to your birth chart, your new moon of the year. So let's break it all down. But first, starting out with your primary life coach, which is Mercury. Now, if you paid attention to our planet by planet breakdown in this video, then you know that Mercury is hella busy this month. Your ruling planet is up to a lot of things, so you are going to feel busy, busy, busy. If you didn't catch that portion of the video, I highly recommend you go back. And if you don't watch all the planets, make sure you at least watch Mercury because he is your primary coach, meaning he is teaching you lessons at all times, and he's teaching you depending on the zodiac energy he's in and what area of life he is impacting depending on the zodiac sign he is moving through. So I know that's a lot. Let's get into it. Mercury this month moves through 3 different zodiac signs, aka activating 3 different areas of your birth chart. So first, we are kicking off the month with Mercury moving his way out of Taurus. Taurus is your 12th house. So you've been having your mind, Mercury, on your behind the scenes spaces, your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health. You've been thinking a lot. You've been dreaming a lot. You've been imagining a lot. You've been tapping into other realms in your mind, going to other places in your dreams. You've been thinking a lot about your emotional health, your energetic body, maybe trauma or past life stuff. There has been a lot going on for you in the other levels of consciousness. Now, when we get to the 3rd, right away at the beginning of June, Mercury, your ruling planet, is going to move into the zodiac energy of Gemini, your first house. Now your mind is on you. You are coming back into your body. You are thinking about your physical vessel, your physical form, how other people see you, your identity, your appearance, maybe wanting to change your hair, change your wardrobe, change your social media, making sure the way in which you are identifying yourself to other people in relationships is how you actually want to be seen. Now, Mercury is going to zip through your first house from the 4th of June until the 17th, where he is officially going to move into the zodiac energy of Cancer, your money sector. So from the 17th of June till the end of the month, your mind is on your money is on your mind. You're thinking about how you want to make money, how you want to acquire resource, what's material possessions you value. Like you're going to be thinking about your everyday material world. So, what I'm going to suggest to you, Gemini risings, with Mercury doing so many moves this month, he is going to square Saturn and square Neptune and then square the nodes and then square Chiron. There's going to be a lot of mental challenges for you. Now, you're used to this Gemini rising because Mercury is your ruling planet, but I do want you to pay special attention to what you are putting your thoughts towards and if it's in alignment with what you want for your future. I don't want you to get sucked in by all the Gemini energy this month with Jupiter in Gemini, the new moon in Gemini, the sun in Gemini, Venus in Gemini. I don't want you to get sucked up by the busyness, the overthinking, the overdoing. This is going to be so prevalent for you, Gemini rising. So learn to meditate, learn to calm your mind. Now let's go back and look at the sun seasons because the sun shines a spotlight upon a certain area of our life as it travels through each zodiac sign. So in the beginning of the month, as we are in the sun season of Gemini, the sun is going to highlight you, again, your aesthetics, your appearance. The new moon in Gemini being your new moon of the year on 6/6, the 6/6 portal, I want you to be very aware of how you want to rebirth yourselves in the next upcoming year. How do you want to be seen? How do you want to be approached when you walk into a room? What is the vehicle you're rolling up in, right? Really taking inventory of the way in which you present yourself and setting intentions of how you want people to see you. Then when the sun on the 20th of June moves into Cancer, that is when the sun is shining a spotlight upon your income sector. A great time to review this area of your life. Your ruling planet Mercury is going to be there, but I really want you to look at your budget, what you're spending your money on, what you're prioritizing, how you're making your money. Like, get your money right. A great time for you from the 17th to the end of the month as Venus moves into your income sector as well to find relationships that help you with your money. So this could be looking for a CPA, a financial advisor, someone that's very smart with money, maybe dealing with money in your family situation because Cancer does rule family. So as far as relationships for you this month, it's going to be very important for you to have a good relationship with yourself, your mind, and then people that benefit you and help you financially. Those are going to be very important for you. Now, as we get into Cancer sun season, we're going to have two full moons. The first one being on the 21st, the day after the summer solstice. That is going to highlight and illuminate your eighth house, your money tied to other people. That is going to highlight a debt, a loan, a way in which someone assists you with finances or resources and help you see what maybe you want to break free from or let go, what structures don't serve you anymore. So maybe you're like, all right, I have had someone like a CPA help me with my income. Now I'm realizing I need to pay off this debt. So I'm going to start working on that. And at the second full moon in Capricorn next month is when you really start to let some of that go. There could also be some things coming up this time in relationships around vulnerability or intimacy or your sex life with a serious partner as you're realizing and the full moon is highlighting what isn't working and what needs to be restructured to continue moving through that relationship and keep it around for the long haul. And that's something that could kind of get fixed or solved at that next full moon, and it's just kind of being brought up at this time. So lots going on for you, Gemini risings. We love the fact that Jupiter, the most abundant and blessed filled planet, is moving through your first house. You could really feel lucky all year until next May with this energy parking here. But just know this month is really the kickoff to magnetizing and attracting people to you. But it all comes with how you respect and how you show up in your physical vessel here on Earth School and how you want other people to see you. So make sure you go back and watch the planet by planet breakdown for Mercury because you will see he's up to a lot more than we covered right now. Come back for the new and the full moon videos as well as we dive in even deeper because Mercury will be impacting both of the lunations in the month of June. So you'll understand more in those upcoming videos. And if you are curious and would like to do a one-on-one session breaking down your chart and understanding it more in depth, I would be honored to do that with you. You can find the link in my description box below, and I'll send you so much love and light for the month of June. I'll catch you in the next video. Cancer risings, you are ruled by the moon, so you are finicky and you change your feelings and emotions every couple days. So I always say to my Cancer risings, you have a tricky planetary ruler because it's always shifting and always moving. So for the purpose of today's video, talking about the month ahead, let's focus on the two lunations, the new moon in Gemini happening on 6/6, the 6/6 portal, and the full moon in Capricorn happening on June 21st. Before we do that though, let's take a moment to talk about the sun seasons, because the sun seasons affect all of us. The sun shines a spotlight upon us, and depending on the zodiac energy the sun is traveling through, it highlights that specific area of our life using whole sign systems. So as we start out the month of June, we are of course in Gemini sun season. Gemini for you is your 12th house. And so from the beginning of June until the 20th, we are going to shine a spotlight on your spaces behind the scenes. So we are looking at your mental health, your emotional health, your energetic body, and your spiritual practices, and any projects that you are working on that you have not yet revealed or launched out into the world. And so focusing and highlighting that specific area of your life is going to be very important for the first part of June. So if you are wanting to go to therapy, if you're wanting to do any kind of energy healing, like talking with an astrologer, doing Reiki, getting some crystal therapy, anything that helps your energetic body clear karma, cut karma, release and let go, purge in your life, looking at things that you're ready to wrap up as the sun on the 20th of June moves into your first house. When we get to the Cancer sun season, every single year, the sun is shining a spotlight and highlighting you, because in your birth chart, you are a Cancer rising. Cancer is your physical vessel, your physical form, and how you show up to the world on first impression. And so as the sun moves into Cancer from the 20th of June until the middle of next month, you are going to shine a spotlight on you. How you want to dress, how you want to appear, your physical body, paying more attention to what you need to feel vital and to feel energized, looking at your goals, looking at your needs, looking at your desires. So the two sun seasons in the month of June is focusing on your 12th house and your first house. Now let's go to the two lunations of June. Because the moon rules you, you are heavily impacted around new and full moons. You're the ones most likely able to manifest and set new intentions and really begin new things with new moons, and really clear and release and let go around the full moons. So the new moon in Gemini happening on 6/6 is the new moon in your 12th house. So if you are wanting to start a new spiritual practice, if you're wanting to do some energy healing, if you're wanting to meet a healer, maybe you're wanting to start something, a project that you want to eventually bring to light, this would be a beautiful time for you to set those intentions and get started. Now remember, Jupiter is in your 12th house for an entire year, and Jupiter is a teacher. Jupiter is a mentor. Jupiter expands and blesses you. So this could be an opportune time where you get to expand your intuition or your psychic gifts. Maybe you expand again your spiritual practice and you tap into a new religion or a new way of being. This could be a beautiful time for you to find blessing in healing your trauma or healing past life stuff with another person. So when we're looking at relationships in general, we want to look for people that help us heal. Healers are going to be monumental for you in the month of June. And then when we get to the full moon in Capricorn, where we are going to release and let go, the full moon is going to highlight for you your 7th house. The full moon in Capricorn is your relationship full moon of the year, and it is going to illuminate your intimate relationships, your marriage partnerships, your long-term partnerships, your intimate friendships, your business partners, people you want to collaborate with. And it's going to highlight and say, hey, these people either are going to come with us into the future, they're going to stay around for the long term, or I don't want to be committed to this anymore, because Capricorn, your 7th house, is commitment, discipline, structure, and boundaries. And so it might illuminate on the 21st of June what relationships cannot come with you that aren't working anymore. Now, that's just going to show you and reveal to you this situation, but it's not actually the time to let them go until we get to the second full moon in Capricorn at the end of Cancer sun season in the month of July. And so I really want you to focus on your deepest connections, your deepest relationships around that full moon, asking yourself, what serves me, what feels good to me, who do I want to commit to for the long term, and who am I ready to let go. So a big shifting of energy towards the end of the month for you, my Cancer risings. But remember, the Cancer sun season is asking you to shine a spotlight upon your first house and yourself, and always prioritizing your needs, wants, and desires. So good luck, my Cancer risings. It's a very busy month for you. Make sure you come back and listen to my new and my full moon videos that I'll be launching here. So subscribe, because we are going to be diving into all the details that are pertinent to you as you're someone who is ruled by the moon. Of course, I will have your rising sign breakdown as well in those videos. And if you want to understand how to work with the moon cycles every single month, because you are so moon sensitive, I'd love to dive in with you. I book 30-minute sessions that are very unique to whatever you want to discuss. You can find it in the description box below. And I'm going to send you so much love and light as you navigate the month ahead. I'll catch you in the next video, Cancer risings. Leo risings, this month we are adding a lot of air to your fire. You are ruled by the sun, and so we are going to focus on the sun seasons of June. That is going to be Gemini and Cancer. Now, make sure you go back and watch the planet by planet breakdown for your particular ruling planet. We can only get into so much during the rising sign forecast. You definitely want to know what your primary life coach is up to for the entire month of June. So make sure you go watch that portion of my video specifically for your primary life coach. Now, Gemini rules your 11th house. So as the sun travels through the zodiac energy of Gemini from the 1st of June until the 20th, that is going to shine a spotlight on your friendships, your community, your social circles, your dreams, your hopes, your wishes, and your future. And so this will be a beautiful time for you to really spend time with the people you enjoy. Or maybe you are seeing with the brightness of the sun what friendships aren't aligned with you anymore, where you maybe want to switch energies. Now, you are a Gemini 11th house person, meaning you probably have many different friendship groups. You have people that you hang out with on the weekends, people you network with regarding your career. You have people that you just like to lounge around on the couch with. You have many friends. You have a large social network. And so the sun is going to be activating this area of your chart for the first part of June. So you probably have a lot of plans to get out there, meet new people, connect with old people, learn from people. Now, Jupiter is obviously here as well. And so Jupiter for the upcoming year is going to expand your friendship circle. You are going to find your most prosperous blessings and abundance through connection, through community. So if you don't have a tribe and you've been a little bit of a hermit, this is an amazing time for you to get out there. Find those friends, find those people you align with. This is a beautiful energy for you, Leo risings, especially when it comes to relationships. A lot of times for you, in order to have romantic relationships, you need a friend first. You need someone that you can talk to, someone that understands you, someone that shares the same similar hobbies as you. So make sure you're getting out there, especially when we get to the new moon on 6/6. This is a great time to set new intentions, to start new friendships. So if there's someone you've been wanting to hang out with, invite them over, make plans with them, especially the first half of the month. Now, because you are ruled by the sun, when the sun moves into the zodiac energy of Cancer, on the 20th of the month, now your energy, your light, your focus is going to shift into your 12th house. The 12th house is our house of behind the scenes spaces. This is our energetic health, our emotional health, our mental health, our limiting beliefs, and our spiritual practices. So that is going to be a season for you to kind of go within and to focus and shine your light on the places that we don't necessarily like to focus energy on. So this is going to be healing your body, healing mentally, overcoming limiting beliefs, dealing with fears, dealing with traumas, dealing with past life stuff. This is going to be focusing your energy and attention a little bit more on your spiritual practices, getting into a routine, because you are ruled by Cancer in your 12th house, meaning the energy you need for your energetic health is going to be intuitive, soft, feminine, nurturing, nourishing, and slowing down. And so when the sun hits Cancer sun season, you are going to be preparing for Leo sun season, which activates you, activates your first house, brings a lot of vitality and energy into your life. So before we get to Leo sun season in the middle of July, you must spend the middle of June till the middle of July, Cancer sun season, in your 12th house, resting, retreating, purging, preparing, letting go, strengthening, and bringing vitality to your mind, your energetic body, and your spiritual practices. So big, big month for you. But remember, we are going to have 2 full moons during Cancer sun season. The first one is going to be on the 21st, so kicking off the summer solstice. This is going to highlight and illuminate with the full moon in Capricorn your 6th house, illuminating your physical health, your wellness, your day-to-day habits, your day-to-day lifestyle, and anyone in relationship you have that helps you on a day-to-day basis. So we're looking at personal trainers, nutritionists, your coworkers, the lady at the coffee shop. Who do you interact with on a day-to-day basis, and who helps keep you well? Like a personal assistant, for example. So I want you to pay attention at that full moon. It's going to highlight and illuminate the relationships that don't feel like they align anymore, that don't bring benefit to your life, that you don't want to carry with you. So maybe you've had the same therapist for a really long time and you're like, you know what, we're just different and I've outgrown this person. Maybe you've had a personal assistant that's helped you for a while. Maybe you've had great relationships with your coworkers, but now you're just kind of realizing that, you know what, you want to have some boundaries. You don't want to hear about their personal life anymore because Capricorn is about boundaries and structure. So there could be some changes that are highlighted at that full moon around your day-to-day habits, your overall wellness, your health routines, that you are going to have to officially let go of what's not serving you when we get to the second full moon in the middle of July. So just pay attention around that time. Don't forget Leo risings. It's going to be a time at the end of June for you to really work on your mental health and how it's affecting your physical health and what people and relationships in your life are supporting them in bringing positivity and energy and vitality into these places of your life and letting go of those who harm your mental health or your physical well-being. And so with that, sending you so much love and light for the month ahead. Make sure you come back for my new and my full moon videos as we have a lot more to discuss around those 2 lunations. And if you need any personal assistance or guidance of understanding your birth chart or maybe the month ahead, or you want to do a compatibility reading, you can find it all in my booking link in the description box below. And I will catch you in the next video. Good luck, Leo risings, in the month of June. Virgo risings, you have a lot going on this month as your ruling planet Mercury is going to be busy, busy, busy. He is moving through 3 different zodiac energies, meaning he is activating 3 different areas of your chart. So we will be breaking that down. Now make sure you go back and watch my planet by planet breakdown specifically for Mercury, where I give you way more nitty-gritty details of what he's up to this month, because he's having so many conversations with our other planets and you're going to be feeling them heavily as Mercury is your ruling planet. Now, you being a Mercury ruled person, you think a lot. You're in your mind a lot. And so you're going to want to pay attention because this month there is going to be a lot going on, a lot of mental chatter, a lot of OCD, a lot of learning about a lot of things. So let's dive into it. Starting out with the beginning of June, your ruling planet Mercury will be in the zodiac energy of Taurus in his final moments. Now, Mercury has been conjunct Uranus as we move into the month of June. So you mentally have been maybe thinking outside of the box, having new inspiration, new ideas, solving problems, having some very inspiring conversations with other people. Maybe you've been dropping bombs on people as you've been expressing yourself, or people have been sharing things with you that you are mentally like, whoa, mind blown. But when we get to the 3rd of June, Mercury is going to move into the zodiac energy of Gemini. Now, Gemini is your 10th house. So we love this energy. This is where the pileup of planets are. The party in the sky is activating your career sector, helping you understand what your purpose is, what your legacy is, what you want to do and be seen and known as in this world, the title you want to be called. And so now your mind is going to be thinking a lot about your career. You might be asking a lot of questions. The relationships in your life that you have with people at work might be very busy. There might be a lot of communication, people texting you after hours. You might be having to do presentations or teach other people. So definitely pay attention to any relationship that you have that benefits you when it comes to your career or helps you advance to the next level. This is a chance for you in your career to speak up, to become a mentor, a leader, a teacher, someone that has a lot of opinions to share. You do want to be careful that you don't listen to too many other people's opinions, but definitely an energy that is allowing you to take center stage and help share your story that could benefit another person. So if you've wanted to blog or write a podcast or write a book, beautiful, beautiful energy that can really change your whole career. Now, remember, we have the new moon on June 6th, 6/6 portal. And this is a beautiful energy as Jupiter is here as well, blessing your career sector. Once every 12 years, we have the benefic planet of Jupiter bringing abundance and luck and prosperity into our career life. And at this new moon, this is just the beginning of that energy. So set intentions around your career, try to manifest or call in relationships or people that can help serve you when it comes to your professional life, people that support you, people that help you, advance in your career, mentors of sorts, and help support you when it comes to your purpose, your mission, and your legacy. Now, Mercury is going to be here from the 4th of June all the way until the 17th. On the 17th, he moves into the zodiac energy of Cancer. This is now your mind moving into friendship circles. So from the 17th of June until the end of the month, you are going to be very social, wanting to get out and connect with people, especially from friends from the past, people that you feel safe and comfortable opening up to, sharing your emotions with. So busy, busy month. First half of the month is going to be very career oriented, talking to a lot of people, building a lot of networks and connections around your career, and then moving your mind around your friends and texting people, going to networking meetings. Now, once we get into the sun season of Cancer, we are going to have a full moon in Capricorn. This is going to highlight and illuminate your 5th house because the sun is in your 11th house of community and friendships, and the full moon will be in your 5th house. So that is going to illuminate the people in your life that you can have fun with. It's also going to highlight your children or children that may be in your life and understanding how these things could be changing. Maybe the relationship with your children is changing. They're graduating, they're moving on to college, or they're moving away. Maybe the relationships you have in your life around romance and the people you've been dating, you're realizing they're just not the best for you. Whatever relationships are highlighted at the full moon in Capricorn are going to maybe be officially released at the next full moon in Capricorn once we get into July. So pay attention. The full moon is going to show you what relationships cannot come with you for the long haul, especially in your dating life, with your children, things changing and shifting, and people that you don't have fun with anymore. So lots more to discuss about the full moon in Capricorn, the new moon in Gemini. Make sure you subscribe and come back as we break down those two lunations in more depth, also for your rising sign. And if you have any questions for the month ahead, because you do have a busy month, Virgo Risings, you can go ahead and book a mini session. You can find it in the description box below where we can dive in any questions you have or helping you make sense of the chaos for the month ahead. And I'm going to send you so much love and light, and I will catch you in the next video. Libra Risings, you have a very busy month ahead as your ruling planet Venus is moving from the zodiac energy of Gemini into Cancer on the 17th of the month. So let's go ahead and break that down. Now, for more nitty-gritty details, make sure you go watch my planet by planet breakdown and specifically watch for Venus because we break down all the aspects that she's having that you're going to be mostly affected by. But for the portion of this video, let's go ahead and understand where she is impacting your birth chart, what areas of life to pay attention to. So as we kick off the month of June, Venus is moving through your 9th house. This is bringing relationships and love and abundance and magnetizing things to you when it comes to your 9th house spaces. So this is your philosophy, your belief system, relationships that you have that teach you things, people that bring wisdom and understanding into your life. If you've been wanting to go back to school, if you've been wanting to find a mentor, wanting to find someone that can coach you and help you excel in any area of your life, this is a beautiful time to call that relationship in. Now, remember, you have Jupiter here as well, and Jupiter expands and blesses this area of your birth chart. This is your area of life of gaining experience by getting out of your comfort zone. If there are things that you've wanted to check off your bucket list, this is going to be the year ahead to do it, with Jupiter expanding you and bringing opportunities for you to travel, for you to literally get out of your comfort zone. Now, Venus is really kicking off this energy this month by saying, hey, what do we find beautiful? What do we find pleasurable? Who do I want to go out in the world and connect with? What kind of relationships can I build with people that are different from me, who can change my mindset, who can expand my view of the world? And so relationships that are very different from you, like people from other countries, people from other religions, people with different education levels, are going to be so beneficial for you in the upcoming year. So call them in at this time, especially around the new moon on 6/6, where you can set new intentions to travel new places, to go back to school, to learn new things. A beautiful energy for you kicking off the month of June. Now, when we get to the 17th, we're going to have Venus, your ruling planet, moving into Cancer. We love this energy for you because now your relationship focused planet is moving into your 10th house of your career. You're going to get a season of calling in beautiful, beneficial things into your professional life. Now, if you are a stay at home mom or a stay at home dad, or maybe you don't have a career yet, this is going to be a beautiful time for you to bring some abundance to this area of your life and connect with people who are in industries or in job roles or in different companies that you are wanting to be a part of, because Venus, your ruling planet, is going to magnetize relationships to you. Also, this is a time for you to call in new financial situations in your professional life, the way in which you make money or what you're getting paid. This could be a great time for you to call in a promotion as we have the ruling planet for you, Libra risings, moving through your 10th house. So you could get an opportunity to make your work life even more beautiful. You could get an opportunity to get that title that you want to be called. If it's moving from the secretary to a manager to a lead, like, you might just find that how people see you in your professional life and your reputation gets a complete up level as your ruling planet moves through that area of the sky. Now, also remembering when the sun gets to your 10th house, the sun shines a spotlight upon it, highlights, it brings life, it brings vitality. You are going to need to be a little bit more career focused. So that is going to start at the summer solstice on June 20th, all the way until the middle of July. So just remember, when we get to the end of June, there's going to be a lot of busyness, a lot of energy in the sky with so many planets in Gemini, where we are wanting to socialize and connect and network and learn and understand. And then you're wrapping up the month with focusing on your career. Who have you met that can help you in your career? Who can you connect with? Who can you call on a favor? Maybe it's like, hey, I know you work at this company. Do you think you could drop my application off? Like, a lot of work stuff for you, my Libra risings. Now, at the new moon on 6/6, call in the people in your life that can help expand your mindset and teach you things. But when we get to the full moon in Capricorn, that is going to be highlighting and activating your fourth house of home and family. Now, we have two full moons in Capricorns. This month is the first one. Next month is going to be the second one. So it's kind of like a 1-2 punch here. The one this month on the 21st of June is going to illuminate your home and your family and what doesn't work. What do you have to release? What do you have to let go? What structures are broken? And so this could be the way in which you operate within your family. Maybe there needs to be more chores and people need to do more of their workload at home as you are focusing your sun in your 10th house of Cancer for the sun season of Cancer. So work might require a lot more focus and energy from you, and therefore the home life, people are going to have to step up. You're going to have to create rules and boundaries and structures at home within your family so that it can continue to run smoothly. Now, at the full moon in Capricorn, you might be releasing and letting go. So for some of you, it is moving, or it is having people move out of your home, or people moving into your home. There's some sort of change that is going to be started this month at the full moon in Capricorn and then brought to full completion at next month's full moon. So lots more to discuss with the new moon in Gemini, the full moon in Capricorn for this month ahead. So make sure you subscribe, come back, watch my lunation forecast, especially for your rising sign. But just know, my Libra risings, your ruling planet Venus being in your career house the second half of this month is going to be absolutely lovely for relationships that can benefit you and get you to the next level in your professional life with your mission, with your purpose, and how you want to be known in this world. So good luck, Libra risings. If you want to dive in any more on a personal level to understand your birth chart or maybe the cosmic weather ahead, or want to do a relationship reading, because of course you Libra risings are very relationship oriented, I'd love to do that with you. You can find all the information in the description box below and book a session with me. So sending you so much love and light. I will catch you in the next video. Scorpio risings, we have a lot going on for this month, and I say we because you know I'm a Scorpio rising as well. Our ruling planet Mars is very active, moving from Aries into Taurus. We'll break that down. And of course, our co-ruler Pluto is retrograde now, and he is making some aspects to all the planets dancing through the zodiac energy of Gemini. He wants a piece of the party, even though he's way across the sky. Now, make sure you go back and watch the planet by planet breakdown for your particular ruling planet We can only get into so much during the rising sign forecast. You definitely want to know what your primary life coach is up to for the entire month of June. So make sure you go watch that portion of my video specifically for your primary life coach. So let's break it down, starting out with Mars. Now, for the month of June, Mars is starting out the month in Aries. This is our 6th house. So we've been very active making decisions, taking our energy, focusing our attention on our physical body, on our wellness, on our day-to-day habits, on the people in our life that keep us well. So like therapists and nutritionists and doctors and our assistants and coworkers and people we engage with on a day-to-day level that either can help or hinder our well-being. And so now Mars is going to be slowly moving out of the zodiac energy of Aries and into the zodiac energy of Taurus. Now, being Mars ruled people, we are very influenced by the zodiac energy our ruling planet is in, because that determines our energy, our vitality, our chi. As Scorpio risings, we have a lot of energy. We want to do things. We want to accomplish things. We tend to be a little bit more in the masculine energy, always very busy. And that has very much been the case as Mars has been in the zodiac energy of Aries. Now, as we start out the month, remember, Mars is conjunct Chiron. And so there's been some wounds or some healing that we need to do, something that we had to take action on to get over a fear so we could finally get going on a project or something we've been wanting to do for a very long time. We've been very active, feeling like our pants are on fire, and now we're getting tired. And when we get to the 10th of this month, our ruling planet is going to decrease our stamina, decrease our vitality, cool us off, and ground us as he moves into the zodiac energy of Taurus. We're going to feel our vitality being a little bit more slow and steady, really prioritizing what we give our attention to, making sure that it brings beauty and pleasure into our life, because Taurus is all about luxury and sensuality and indulgence. And so those are things we're going to be focusing our energy and attention on. And Taurus is a little slow. It's like a little bit of a turtle energy. So you might not want to be burning the candles at both ends. Honor the smoothness and the slowness. Now, as Mars, our ruling planet, moves out of our health house into our relationship house, there's going to be a lot of energy and attention given to our romantic sector, our marriages, our long-term committed partnerships, our business partners, our collaborators, our intimate friendships. There's going to be a lot of decisions we have to make in our intimate relationships this month, because Mars comes to visit our relationship house once every 2 years. So it's been 2 years since we've had to take some action and make decisions around the people in our life that we are connected to in an intimate way. So there may be some tough decisions that you have to make. Mars in the month of July will run into Uranus, which could liberate us from a relationship we've had for a while that just doesn't feel pleasurable anymore, or could shake that relationship awake and bring new life into it. So we'll see what happens when we get to July, but just know there's a lot of your energy and your vitality focused around your intimate relationships. Now, let's back it up a little bit. We have the sun in the zodiac energy of Gemini as we start out the month of June. The sun highlights, it shines a spotlight upon a certain area of our life during that sun season. So as the sun moves through Gemini, with Venus, with Jupiter, with Mercury, we are going to have a cosmic pileup of energy in our 8th house. The 8th house is our house of finances connected to other people. So there is maybe a spotlight being shined on for you, Scorpio risings, your money tied to other people. This could be your marriage partner's money. This could be a debt or loan that you owe someone. This could be your stock market investments, your inheritances, wills, or other money that you don't earn on a day-to-day basis. And so maybe you are needing to focus a little bit more energy on this area of your life. Jupiter is going to bless it and expand it. So you might be changing your income. You might be getting windfalls of money, having an easier time with people investing in you or sharing their resources with you. It is just going to be a very heavy money season. Now, I do want to say, Scorpio risings, you are not afraid to be intimate or to connect with people in a deeper, intimate way. And your relationships make a little bit of a sex life boost or an intimacy boost, or you're able to be a little bit more vulnerable with the people around you as Jupiter is here expanding this area of your life for the upcoming year. So something that you can very much look forward to. Now, we do have the new moon in Gemini on 6/6 in your 8th house. So this could be a great time for you to set new intentions on calling in people that want to invest in you. If you're needing investors, a great time for you to set new intentions around budgeting and looking at at your money, hiring a CPA, looking for a financial advisor. So when it comes to relationships, you want to look for relationships that can help you expand when it comes to your income sector and your education and your knowledge around these topics. Now, when it comes to your romantic relationships, if you are wanting to boost your sexy time, the new moon in Gemini is a great time to initiate and start something that could lead to a better intimate connection with someone very important to you. So going to therapy, listening to a podcast, becoming more vulnerable, reading a book together are all great things because it is happening in the zodiac energy of Gemini, which is the mind and learning new things. Also great for some deep healing if you're wanting to build a deeper connection with yourself. Now, the full moon in Capricorn is happening on June 21st, the day after the summer solstice. That is when the sun and Venus and Mercury all move into your ninth house, activating your space of wisdom, of life experience, of getting out of your comfort zone, of changing your belief system, your philosophies, going on an adventure, traveling. So towards the end of June, I could very much see you guys looking into some travel plans, to book some travel. Maybe you have some opportunities. Other people are going on an adventure and they're asking you to come with them. The full moon may highlight something that you need to understand around your limiting beliefs, your mindset, your mental health, something else you need to learn. And maybe you need to travel to go learn it. Maybe you need to go to another country. Maybe you need to hire a mentor. There is something that is being highlighted at this full moon that you have to step into and move towards by the time we get to the second full moon in Capricorn in your mental spaces. So if you are in sales, if you are an entrepreneur, this is a great time for you to sign contracts, negotiate things, to sell off some of your inventory. Lots more to discuss around the new moon in Gemini and the full moon in Capricorn. So we're going to leave it at that for now. Make sure you subscribe and come back to my new and my full moon videos where we will break that down in even more detail, especially for your rising sign. So I'm going to send you so much love and light as we move through the month of June. It really will be a very busy energy, focusing some attention on your financial sector, some energy in your relationship sector, and your intimate connections, and of course, some energy towards the end of the month of you traveling somewhere, going on an adventure. So what an exciting month ahead. If you want any help understanding your birth chart or the cosmic weather of June or the year ahead, I would love to dive in with you. You can find my booking link in the description box below. I love doing 30-minute sessions where we can answer any questions that you may have. So I hope to see you in a one-on-one session. And if not, I will catch you in the next video. Sagittarius Risings, I cannot wait to talk to you about your month of June now that your ruling planet Jupiter is in your seventh house. So out of all my rising signs, Sagittarius Risings, you have quite the relationship month ahead, and not just the month ahead, but the year ahead, because Gemini rules your seventh house. So we have a cosmic party. Make sure you go back and watch the planet by planet breakdown for your particular ruling planet. We can only get into so much during the rising sign forecast. You definitely want to know what your primary life coach is up to for the entire month of June. So make sure you go watch that portion of my video specifically for your primary life coach. Kicking off this month in your relationship sector. So if you are single and you are trying to look for that lifelong partner, this may be the time that that person just falls in your lap. Or if you are in a long-term committed relationship, this is a time where there could be a lot of blessing and abundance within your marriage for your romantic partner. This could be a beautiful, prosperous time when it comes to building connections with people in a deep, intimate way, finding that dream collaborator, finding a business partner that helps you move to your dreams and towards your future, or just finding a friend that feels like a total soulmate. Wherever Jupiter is in the sky as your ruling planet will help you call in soul family members, people that can impact your life in a big way. And every 12 years, your ruling planet lands in your seventh house of relationships, and it is a very abundant and opportune time for the year ahead that you could meet a soul mate. Now, this is a soulmate maybe in marriage or a soulmate in life that can really impact you in a big way. So we love this energy for you, my Sagittarius risings. Also remembering that the sun is going to be here as well at the beginning of June until the 20th, heating up and activating your romantic relationship sector of your life. So focus your energy as the sun is shining a spotlight on your relationships. Spend some time with some friends who mean a lot to you. spend some extra time connecting and communicating with your business partners. If you are in a marriage or a long-term partnership, make plans with your significant other. This is a beautiful energy for you to do it, especially around the new moon in Gemini, which is setting new intentions, new beginnings, new fresh starts in these relationships for you. So you definitely want to capitalize on that energy. Again, if you've been single, you definitely want to focus the first half of June on getting out there and meeting people and being open-minded, because Jupiter asks you to get out of your comfort zone and to expand yourself and to change your belief systems and have some faith and have some hope. So go do things. Very, very positive relationship energy. You could get more new clients if you are in a entrepreneurial situation, meeting your dream clients, people that you might work with on a long-term basis. There's a lot of communication happening for you. You might be talking to a lot of people, answering a lot of emails, learning things from people. So we love this energy for you, Sagittarius risings. So pay attention to that new moon. Let me know if you do end up meeting anyone in the month of June. Now, remember, in the second half of the month, the sun will be moving into the zodiac energy of Cancer. Cancer is your 8th house. So we will then be shifting our energy and our attention as the sun, Mercury, Venus, and eventually Mars will move into your financial area. So the second half of the month, we are going to be focusing our energy and attention on our intimacy within those relationships, going even deeper, our sex life, being vulnerable, sharing our fears, doing some healing, getting over some trauma. Maybe there's some, things from the beginning of your relationship that haven't been fully wrapped up or disclosed, and we need to go back into those things. But definitely, my Sagittarius risings, you are going to have some opportunity to look at your finances, to look at the areas of life that deal with your money connected to other people. And so you might have to look at your stock portfolios or your investments. You might have to look at some debts or loans that you need to pay off. Pay attention around the full moon in Capricorn on June 21st, where it will be highlighting your financial sectors with the sun in Cancer and the full moon activating your income, your material possessions, your money making house. So it's a money full moon for you, really helping you see where you need to redistribute your assets, focus your attention. Maybe you're changing your income stream or the way in which you make income, but definitely something is being highlighted at this full moon. And then we have a second full moon in Capricorn, your second full moon of the year, back to back, that blue moon, that you might officially release a way in which you make money. Maybe you're changing jobs. Maybe you're changing from a 9 to 5 to a salary position. Something money is going to be changing for you in the upcoming month. So pay attention around that full moon. So lots more that we could discuss around the full moon in Capricorn and of course the new moon in Gemini. So make sure you subscribe and come back for those upcoming videos from me where we'll break it down in even more detail. If you have any questions about the month ahead for you, want to make sense of it based on your unique birth chart, I would be honored to dive in with you. You can find my booking link in the description box below. I love doing 30-minute sessions with people where I can answer any of the questions that you may have and help you make sense of your chaos. So sending you a lot of love and light for the month of June. What a beautiful romantic relationship time for you. Let me know in the comments below how you're feeling in your relationships as Jupiter is about to bless them for the upcoming year ahead. Do you feel the vibe? Do you feel the energy? Are you being optimistic? And do you have faith? That is the question, Sagittarius risings. I'll catch you in the next video. Capricorn risings, what a month ahead for you as your ruling planet is gearing up to go retrograde. And Saturn is very active this month. And not only is he getting ready to go retrograde, but he's also squaring the sun, Mercury, and Venus. He is cross-checking all the energy that we are feeling in the zodiac energy of Gemini. So let's break it down, help you understand how to prepare and navigate relationships for your month ahead. Now, make sure you go back and watch the planet by planet breakdown for your particular ruling planet. We can only get into so much during the rising sign forecast. You definitely want to know what your primary life coach is up to for the entire month of June. So make sure you go watch that portion of my video specifically for your primary life coach. Gemini is your 6th house. So there is a lot of energy, a cosmic party happening in your house of health, wellness, and day-to-day habits. So really the relationships in your life on a day-to-day basis. These are your coworkers, these are your doctors, your nutritionists, your therapist, the lady at the coffee shop, the people you surround yourself with day to day to day. Are they helping your health and wellness and vitality, or are they harming it? Are they causing more chaos in your life? Are your coworkers filled with drama? Is your nutritionist not really understanding what you need and you're not making progress? There's going to be an opportunity with all these planets in Gemini and Jupiter expanding this area for you to bring more wellness, to bring more people that can help you become healthier than ever, more vital than ever, help you get into better routines and better habits. This could even be an opportunity for you to change jobs or expand in your career in some way that brings a better work-life balance, to bring more health into your life. So maybe you're not having to work 9 to 5. Maybe you get to start taking Fridays off. This is a beautiful energy for you to call in around the new moon in Gemini on 6/6, really setting new intentions and new health habits that are going to make you feel better than ever. And once you feel better than ever, then you can have better relationships because you are just feeling so good in your skin. Now, the other thing to pay attention to this month is we have all these planets dancing through your health house, helping you form better habits and routines. The sun is shining a spotlight on this area of your life. But once we get to the 20th, all this energy starts moving into your 7th house. This is so exciting because the second half of June is really making some potent energy around your deepest romantic, intimate connections with other people. So when the sun gets to Cancer sun season, this is your sun season of relationships where you should be focusing your energy, looking at your life in the lens of your relationships, your intimate friendships, your business partners, people you want to collaborate with, your marriage partner, your long-term intimate relationships. So with Venus being here, there's an opportunity to call in more abundance, to make your relationships more beautiful and more pleasurable. Once we get to the 17th of June, we're also going to have Mercury here. So you're going to be speaking and communicating and connecting a lot with these people in your life. So such a beautiful energy for the end of June for you. Now, remember, once we get to the end of June, Saturn, your ruling planet, will go retrograde. Saturn has been in your 3rd house, which is Pisces. And so you're having to learn a lot of lessons to mature and grow around your mental health and the information that you have. You may be called right now to step up and take responsibility and share your story. You may be called right now to connect with other people, to become a teacher or a mentor in some way, or maybe go back to school and learn some new things or some new skills, or maybe just rediscover a book or podcast and absorb some more wisdom in order for you to get to the next chapter of your life. So Saturn's retrogrades are definitely going to teach you some lessons around you speaking up, speaking your truth, sharing your story, and learning new things. And you'll be really starting to feel that as he goes retrograde at the end of the month. We're also going to have a full moon in Capricorn on the day after the summer solstice on June 21st. Whenever we get to the full moon in Capricorn, your ruling planet Saturn is the ruler of that full moon. So this full moon in Capricorn will be very important for you. And this is your full moon of the year that activates your relationship access, right? The sun is in Cancer in your 7th house, and the moon is full in your 1st house of Capricorn. And so there's going to be 2 full moons back to back in the zodiac energy of Capricorn in your 1st house, giving you 2 opportunities to shift, to release, to let go of an old identity, of an old version of yourself. And so for some of you, at this first full moon, you get into a deep, intimate connection, a relationship with someone else, as the sun and Venus and Mercury are in your relationship sector. That is changing your identity. You are going from someone single to someone in a relationship. And now that changes your appearance. Maybe you dress a different way. Maybe you change your social media profile picture so that people see you now in a relationship. And then when we get to the second full moon in Capricorn, you then officially go into this new identity. You leave your single life behind. You're ready to be a romantic partner. Maybe you get married, maybe you get engaged at this time. For some of you, it's getting into a business collaboration situation where maybe you've been known as like an independent entrepreneur. And by the time we get to the second full moon, you've taken on more responsibility and you are now the co-owner of a new business. And now other people see you in a different light. So definitely a lot of relationship energy going on in the second half of June for you as you're shifting status in relationships and it's affecting your identity. So much more that we can discuss around the new and the full moon. So make sure you subscribe, come back for those videos I'll be posting very shortly. And if you have any questions about your birth chart or you want a better understanding of how the month of June is going to be impacting you personally by looking at your birth chart. Or maybe you want to do a compatibility reading, which may be very important for you Capricorn risings with all this energy going on in your relationship sector. You can find the link to my booking calendar in the description box below. I would love to dive in with you, especially if you are wanting to get married anytime soon, as we can find the most ideal day for you by looking at your birth chart and the birth chart of your partner. Because remember, when you get married, the moment you say I do, that marriage has a new beginning. It has its own birth chart, and we want to make sure we're picking the most opportune time for you to get married. So I look forward to meeting you one-on-one for a session, and I'm sending you so much love and light for the month ahead, and I will catch you in the next video. Aquarius risings, you have a very busy month ahead. You have many different areas of your birth chart that are being activated. Your ruling planet is Saturn, and of course, the co-ruler being Uranus. Both of these planets are up to a lot this month, and they are just sidelining all the potent energy going on in the zodiac energy of Gemini and Cancer for the month of June. So lots to break down. Now, make sure you go back and watch the planet by planet breakdown for your particular ruling planet. We can only get into so much during the rising sign forecast. You definitely want to know what your primary life coach is up to for the entire month of June. So make sure you go watch that portion of my video specifically for your primary life coach. Let's first start out with your ruling planet, which is Saturn. Saturn at the end of this month is going retrograde. So for the entire month of June, he is gearing up, he is slowing down, and he is preparing to teach you even more lessons, to take more responsibility, and to mature. Now, Saturn has been in the zodiac energy of Pisces since last year. You should know this, Aquarius rising, as he is your ruling planet, and he is teaching you lessons around your financial sector. This is an area of life that you typically like to escape from, you like to avoid, you live a little bit in la-la land when it comes to your budget and your financial situation, but Saturn is here now, and he is saying, hey, it's time to get a new foundation. It's time to get disciplined. It's time to get committed. It's time to look at this area of life and grow up a little bit. And when he starts going retrograde from the 29th of June all the way until November, you could kind of go back on some of those old habits. You've maybe been working on your budget. You've maybe anchoring in some of your financial situations. Maybe you got a new job. You started making more money. And now through the summer, you're kind of like, whatever, I did some work. It's fine. I can let it go. Don't let it go. You don't want your primary life coach to kick you with some karma when we get to November, because that is when the lesson learning period is over and you get your report card. So make sure you stay on top of your budget, Aquarius risings, as your ruling planet goes retrograde. Now, Uranus, on the other hand, has been in your fourth house of home and family. And we have Mars gearing up next month to run into him. So there has been a lot of shifts, a lot of changes. The lottery aspect happened in your fourth house. So maybe you renovated your home, you sold your home, you moved into a new home, something big or unexpected happened with your family. That's not necessarily over yet, because we still have Mars that might bring some cosmic explosions to your fourth house of home and family, but that doesn't happen until next month. We do have Mars entering into this area of your life, so there may be some decisions you have to make after the 10th of June with Mars, our masculine, who says, hey, we got to act, we got to make decisions, we got to do things about things in the Taurus area of your life where you normally like to stay routine. You normally like to stay stuck. When you move into a house, you want to stay in that house. When you have, your family around you, they tend to live with you for quite some time. You might be changing a lot of that up as we move through the second half of June. Now, let's go to your Gemini area of your chart where there is a cosmic party going on. We have Jupiter here, we have the sun here, we have Venus here, we have Mercury here, and we have the new moon on 6/6. All activating your fun house. This is lovely energy. The fifth house is the area we go to when we are just needing to have a little bit of joy, to tap into our inner child. So this is a beautiful time for you to be social, to be creative, to get out there and go do hobbies with people that you love, go meet people that have similar interests to you, go to some concerts, go to some, entertainment events like theater or performing arts. This is also a beautiful time for you to interact with children, your own children. Hang out with them, go play with them, connect with them. If they don't live near you, go plan a trip to be with them. This is a beautiful, new, potent energy around your children and around people you have fun with. Now, also, the fifth house is the house of dating and romance. And so if you are wanting to start going on dates, you've been single for a while, this is a perfect time at the new moon in Gemini with Jupiter blessing your romantic sector to get out there on a first date. If you're in a committed relationship and you have not been dating your partner, you've got into a routine, you've got into a habit, and you don't have a lot of fun anymore, the new moon in Gemini for you Aquarius risings might be a good time for you to start a new hobby with your partner, to go do something fun, to tap into your inner child, go on a funny date. A comedy club would be perfect for you because Gemini is lighthearted and it is witty and it's just doing things with words and language. And that's how you want to be romance. You want someone to talk to you, you want someone to laugh with you want someone to be playful with you. So if you are looking for a honey bunny or you're looking to spice up your relationship, go do some of those activities. Now, also, you want to be aware for the year ahead with Jupiter in your fifth house of children, my Aquarius risings, you might get news of a pregnancy. You might get news around your children and their next chapter of life. This is also a lucky time for creative projects and launching things that are passion projects. Great for business owners, as the fifth house is a very entrepreneurial space as well. So lots going on here in your fifth house. And then also we will have the sun, Venus, and Mercury moving into your sixth house after the 20th of June. So there will be a lot of energy and attention for you to focus on your physical health. And so making sure that you are up to date on your health appointments, making sure your routines and your supplements and your diet and your, fitness is definitely on point as you are bringing in more thought, Mercury, more energy and vitality, the sun, and more pleasure into your day-to-day life. So lots going on for you, my Aquarius risings. The last thing I do want to mention is right after the summer solstice on June 21st, we're going to have a full moon in Capricorn. That full moon is going to highlight and illuminate your 12th house of mental health. So there is going to be this time for you around that full moon where we have to look at your limiting beliefs, your mental health, your emotional health, your trauma, your karma, your spiritual practices, and how it affects you physically. This is going to be a full moon where we are connecting the dots of, if I don't walk every single day and move my body, I'm not thinking straight. If I have bad thoughts in my mind, I feel sluggish and not vital and I gain weight. So something is going to be highlighted and illuminated for you around your physical health related to your mental health or your energetic health. And then at the next full moon in Capricorn that we have next month, you might have to understand what habits have to be broken, what patterns need to be released so that you can be more vital physically and mentally. Lots more to discuss around the new moon in Gemini and the full moon in Capricorn for you, my Aquarius rising. So make sure you subscribe and come back and listen to those videos I have upcoming, especially for your rising sign. If you have any questions about the month ahead for you, Aquarius risings, you can find my booking link in the description box below. I love doing 30-minute sessions where I can answer any questions that you may have about your birth chart, the current cosmic weather, or of course, relationships. I love doing compatibility readings to help you understand how to have the best relationships with the people around you. If you're interested in any of that, I look forward to doing a one-on-one session with you. I'm going to send you so much love and light for the month ahead, and I will catch you in the next video. Pisces risings, you have your two beautiful ruling planets up to a whole lot of juicy goodness this month, so I can't wait to break it down for you. Now, make sure you go back and watch the planet by planet breakdown for your particular ruling planet. We can only get into so much during the rising sign forecast. You definitely want to know what your primary life coach is up to for the entire month of June. So make sure you go watch that portion of my video specifically for your primary life coach. Your ruling planet, Jupiter, is now in the zodiac energy of Gemini. This is activating your fourth house, bringing in abundance for the year ahead for you around your home, around your family. This is going to expand this area of your life. So your family might be expanding. You might be gaining a new property because, of course, when Jupiter is in Gemini, Gemini is the twins. We get two of things. So if you are wanting to buy a second home, if you're wanting to have, a apartment and your own live-in residences, if you're wanting to acquire more assets in real estate, this is going to be an opportune time for you. A lot that we can break down in just a moment, going back to the Gemini area of your life. But don't forget, your co-ruler is Neptune. And Neptune is now for the entire month of June at 29 degrees of Pisces. The anaretic degree, his most powerful place in the sky. We have never experienced this in 165 years, and we won't experience it again. And so just knowing that your ruling ruling planet is in your first house at the most powerful degree of 29 degrees. And this is allowing you to be very dreamy, to be very creative, to be very imaginative. But we do want to be careful, my Pisces risings, with this energy that you will be very energetically sensitive. You want to pay attention to your environments. You want to be around people that make you feel good because your physical body, your physical vessel, your first house is Pisces. And so you are the zodiac sign that is very energetically sensitive to your environment. So you want to make sure for the entire month that you do not put yourself in positions of negative people, negative scenarios, loud situations, drama-filled situations, because you are going to suck it up and absorb it. And so let's just avoid that altogether. Now let's go back to Jupiter. Jupiter in the zodiac energy of Gemini, along with the Sun, Mercury, and Venus. This is highlighting and spotlighting your fourth house of home. If you are wanting to manifest or set new intentions around where you live, renovating your home, making your home more beautiful or pleasurable, this is the time to do it. Set those intentions at the new moon and allow your ruling planet Jupiter to expand this area of your life. Also focusing some energy on your family, spending more time at home, planning a family reunion are all going to be very abundant, opportune energies for you. So this is absolutely lovely. When we get to the 17th of June and into the 20th, we are moving all those planets into your fifth house. We love this energy because now at the end of June, we get to have some fun. The fifth house is the house of romance, of joy, of playfulness, your hobbies, entertainment, creative projects, passion projects, and your children. So once the sun gets into Cancer sun season, we now shine a spotlight on your children and what you like to do for fun and your own inner child. There may be some beautiful blessings that come to you as Venus attracts in some harmonious, pleasant energy. If you're wanting to start a passion project, that would be an amazing time to do it. Now, if you're single and you're wanting to start dating again, the second half of June is going to be a beautiful time as Venus rules relationships and she'll be in your fifth house, bringing beautiful, pleasurable energy into your romance sector. And again, if you are looking to get pregnant or you're wanting to expand your family with your children, that is going to be a great time for you in the second half of June as well. Now, we want to make sure that we are communicating very well around this time because we have Mercury here. And so a lot of your romantic areas of life are going to require you to use a lot of words and language and share your story to connect with people. So if you are going on dates, making sure you're connecting with people that can listen to you, that can understand your emotions, make sure you follow your intuition in the second half of the month as well. You're going to feel yourself wanting to communicate a lot, to share your feelings. Pisces risings, you have a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings inside. So making sure that you align and connect with people, especially on first dates, that are able to have emotional intelligence is going to be very important for you as well. Now, as soon as we get to Cancer sun season, right after the summer solstice on June 21st, we're going to have a full moon in Capricorn. That full moon in Capricorn is going to highlight your 11th house. This is your area of community, of tribe, of friendships, of people that you connect with that are like-minded, and of course, your future. And so pay attention around that time as we might notice or recognize groups of people that we don't vibe with anymore. That is something you might notice at this time. And at the second full moon in Capricorn next month might be the time you officially let go of those friendships. So pay attention to people you can have fun with and you can share your emotions with. Very, very important. Lots more to discuss for you Pisces risings when we get to the new moon in Gemini and the full moon in Capricorn videos. So make sure you subscribe and come back as we'll be breaking down all the details and helping you understand based on your rising sign. So if you have any questions, want to dive into the month ahead, want to do any relationship compatibility readings, you can find the link in my description box below. And I look forward to doing a one-on-one session with you. And I send you so much love and light for the month of June. And I will catch you in the next video.